This elite academy hides an open secret. Spot a guy wearing a necklace stamped with the letter W. Back off immediately. I happen to be the guy wearing that exact chain. But Blake, fresh from skipping class, had no clue. Seething with jealousy because I was the new top student, he dragged his crew over and sliced a 5-centimeter gash across my arm. Right on cue, the vice principal strolls in for an inspection. A blonde kid yells, "Vice principal is here." "Drop it, man, back to class, we cannot let him catch us." But Blake just stands there, gripping his box cutter with a sneer. So what? You think a vice principal can touch the Blake family? He doesn't back down. Instead, he steps closer, blade raised, his voice freezing cold. "Consider yourself extremely lucky today. I wasn't aiming for that pretty face of yours, but you flinched, and next time, I'll carve it up." Right before his words fade out, the vice principal bursts through the classroom door. He takes one hard look and starts, physically shaking with absolute rage, especially seeing the school's top student bleeding on the floor. He absolutely explodes. "What the hell is wrong with you all? Call your parents now, the police are getting involved." Blake calmly sets down his blade, watching the vice principal like he's a circus clown. Tilting his chin up, he measures out every single word. "I am the heir of the Blake family, the most powerful of the 4 elite bloodlines." I hated the way he looked, so I cut him. "So what? Call the cops, call my dad, do whatever helps you sleep. Let's see who can actually touch me." The vice principal goes completely silent, his face turning a deep, angry red. Everyone in this city knows the Blake family is untouchable, and Blake himself is their wildest heir, an absolute loose cannon. The guy's been here exactly 1 week and he is already flashing a blade inside the honors class. I watched the administrator choke on his own helpless fury, and I just let out a quiet little laugh. Getting to my feet, I brushed the classroom dust off my clothes. Blake hated me instantly. For 6 days straight, he sent goons to jump me. If I hadn't called in sick, and if Elliot and Flynn hadn't watched my back, I would have been beaten down 100 times over. Elliot is the eldest son of the Elliot empire. Flynn is the heir to the Flynn fortune. Since both belong to the elite for families, Blake has to show them some basic respect. But today, of all days, Elliot caught a bug and Flynn is taking finals. So Blake kicked the door in with his crew, which brings us to this mess. Hank is practically crying, begging the administration for help. The vice principal roars at Blake's entire gang to march straight to the office. Nobody is leaving. He pivots to escort me to the school nurse, but I just grab my phone, refusing him with total calm. "No need, office first, I'm fine. I want to find out exactly how much real power this Blake family throws around." Hank desperately tries pulling me toward the clinic again. Murmuring a quick reassurance to him, I turn and walk toward the principal's office. Behind my back, Blake scoffs, "Nothing makes me sicker than you playing the cool guy." He struts after me, his little gang trailing behind. The second we're gone, the classroom falls totally silent. Hank just stands there, frozen in shock, his face ghost white. He promised Elliot he would watch out for me. He never guessed that the minute Elliot stepped away, Blake would try something this crazy. It's ridiculous. Blake is just jealous of my looks. Too bad he can't fix his own ugly personality. Everyone thinks I come from some average, working-class family. Ever since I aced the exams and became the school's star student, the rumors about my background exploded. Here at Crestwood Academy, every kid is either wealthy or wildly connected. The only exception is the charity case, and that happens to be me. So during the fall semester, plenty of bullies looked down their noses at me. It wasn't until Elliot stepped in to defend me that people finally closed their mouths. Now Elliot is gone for exactly 1 day, and Blake creeps out of the woodwork. Everyone thinks I'm ruined this time. Right then, the homeroom teacher in the office hears the full story, and his face turns dark as a thundercloud. Everyone is ordered to call their parents immediately. Blake dials his father without hesitating, instantly playing the victim and claiming he got attacked. He hangs up the phone, and his goons do the same, dialing their families one by one. Nobody's scared, because they know Blake has them covered. Then this guy has the absolute nerve to kick back in the teacher's chair, eyeing me like he owns the whole building. "Go ahead, make the call, let's see what your poor parents can do to me." Who are you gonna bring? A babysitter? He chuckles like the whole thing is hilarious. My homeroom teacher walks over to calm me down, telling me to contact my family. I think it over for a second. Dario is out of the country. So I step into the hallway and dial Luna right now. She has just finished her big exam. She answers the phone, her voice completely calm. Why are you calling me out of the blue? I let my voice crack, just a little bit. Luna, someone attacked me. On the other end of the line, Luna's mood flips instantly. She breaks into a dead sprint toward her campus gates, demanding to know where I am. As she runs, I tell her I'm trapped at school. She steadies her voice. Reese, don't be scared, stay right there. I'll be there in 30 minutes. I hang up and tell her to drive safely. Miles away, Luna's eyes turn ice cold. She hits her school gates where the teachers are waiting with big smiles. Luna, finished your test, getting another perfect score. But she has absolutely zero time for small talk. She makes a call and storms right past them. A teacher yells out from behind, Luna, you are still in the middle of finals. Back in the office, I quietly retreat to a corner and huddle down. The vice principal and teachers just stare at me, looking completely heartbroken. They urge me to go to the nurse, but I stay silent. Blake watches me from across the room, sneering, what? Done playing the poor victim. His crew covers their mouths, holding back laughs. Did your parents get stuck out in the sticks? I block them out. I know Luna is in City C, easily an hour away by car. But barely 30 minutes later, the office is packed with Blake's parents and his crew's families. Blake's stepdad checks him over, eyes wide with panic. Are you hurt? Blake instantly plays the part. I am fine. I just beat up some kid. The guy pats Blake's shoulder and actually says, good job. As long as you are safe. His stepmother lets out a breath and asks, who got hurt then? Blake points right at me, waving me off. Just some total loser, no money, no connections. The other parents hear that and instantly chill out, not sparing me a single glance. Our vice principal finally hits his limit. He steps up, firmly declaring this a serious case of school violence, with a weapon used against a student. But Blake just snaps at him, who told you to talk? You really want to cross my family? Then one of the rich dads steps up, glaring down at me with absolute disgust. 1 million, leave town, Blake's stepmother chimes in from above. Make it 6 million total, grab your parents, and disappear. Before her arrogant words even land, a voice cuts through the room. Cold, striking, and totally lethal, 20 billion. Every single one of you, get out of my sight before I throw up. A split second later, the heavy door flies open. Luna is standing there sharp, gorgeous, looking straight out of a comic book. Her signature blue and white hair is impossible to miss. Dressed in a crisp white uniform, she looks absolutely untouchable, backed up by a wall of massive security guards. The entire office stops breathing. Turns out, my sister had kept her foot on the gas the whole ride. Those custom VIP plates meant nobody dared pull her over. She made the drive in 30 minutes flat, enraged by what she heard on the phone. Pure rage fills her eyes. Luna lets out this slow, bone-chilling laugh from deep in her chest. Well, did you think about my offer, 20 billion? Blake's stepmother turns red with anger. She jabs a manicured finger at her, snarling. Who do you think you are, little girl, talking so big? Just then, my homeroom teacher realizes Luna and I look a lot alike. He asks nervously, are you Reese's family? Luna marches straight toward me, never breaking her stride. I am his sister. The vice principal scrambles over to explain the situation, desperately trying to defuse things. But the second he details exactly what they did to me, Luna explodes. Save it, her cold eyes sweep across the room like a winter storm. Are you blind? They were torturing my brother. Then she looks at me, and all that ice instantly vanishes. She crouches right in front of me, gently taking my hand. Her voice drops, so soft it feels like she is scared to break me. Reese, let's get you off the floor, okay? I stare up at her face, seeing nothing but pure concern, and my walls just crumble. I throw myself straight into her arms, my voice shaking uncontrollably. Luna, they hurt me. But Blake laughs from the sidelines, completely bewildered. Are you kidding? I kicked you, you barely even blinked, and now you are crying. You literally tried to show me how to use that knife. His buddies chime in fast, right, who are you acting for? Another guy sneers, our school's tough golden boy, shaking now. I feel Luna's arms wrap tighter around my shoulders. She stares at the gash on my hand and the dark bruises on my face. The pain in her eyes nearly overflows. She squeezes me close. It is over now, Reese, I am here. A heartbeat later, she pulls me up and walks me straight out to the luxury car waiting outside. Then, she reaches into the back seat and pulls out a gorgeous blue and white diamond necklace. Engraved with a massive W, she clasps it around my neck, incredibly gentle. Reese, from today on, live out loud in City C. If anything happens, I will take the fall. I stare down at the heavy diamonds resting against my chest, and suddenly it clicks. This necklace is the ultimate symbol of the Moore family. Luna's has a Y, while mine features a W for my own protection. She had been guarding it this entire time. I originally planned to lay low in Citia for 2 more years, but I know my quiet life here is dead. Luna softly messes up my hair, telling me to wait in the car like a good kid. I nod obediently. The second that car door shuts, every single trace of weakness vanishes from my face, replaced instantly by a slow, freezing smile. Luna is absolutely furious now. The only real bummer is having to head back to City C so soon. I definitely wasn't done having fun here. Meanwhile, back in the principal's office, the real payback show is just kicking off. The second my sister walks in, she stays dead silent. She just kicks that bully Blake straight to the floor. Her bodyguards instantly block his parents from moving an inch. His crew doesn't stand a chance either. Luna plants her boot squarely on his back. Blake thrashes and struggles helplessly. One icy glare from my sister and 2 guards step up. They grab his hair, tie him up with heavy rope, and shove a filthy rag right in his mouth. Clean, brutal, and totally effortless. The principal tries to intervene, but one look from Luna shuts him up instantly. Who said my brother is staying at this school? That terrifying glare alone is enough to keep him from speaking another word. A second later, Luna calmly slips on a pair of leather gloves. She snatches a box cutter from her guard and taps the flat metal against Blake's cheek. Her tone is absolute ice. I heard you were planning to carve up my brother's face. Why don't you test it out first? The blade twists. A thin crimson line splits across his left cheek. Then, with a quick wrist flick, another cut opens on his right. Unbelievably, Blake's foolish mother still has the nerve to screech. She angrily jabs a finger at Luna. The Blake family sits at the top of the local elite. Release my son right now, and we might just let you walk out of here in one piece. Luna hears the threat and laughs, sharp and mocking. She tosses the bloody cutter aside, wiping her hands with this smooth, graceful motion. But her eyes remain completely dead. The Blake family. What the hell is that actually worth? My guys, have you pinned down right now? Are you absolutely sure you want to speak to me? The words barely land before my sister snaps her fingers. The guards press down much harder. Blake's arrogant mother turns ghostly white with pain, but doesn't dare make a peep. Luna's crushing presence dominates the whole room. She lets out another freezing laugh. You really want to debate wealth and status? Fine, let me make things painfully clear before you lose everything. You think I can't touch the mighty Blake family? Allow me to formally introduce myself to you. I live in City C. The second City C leaves her lips. Every single face in the Blake crew drops. Everyone knows that even one billionaire family from City C could crush this entire town without breaking a sweat. But Luna isn't finished yet. She steps forward slowly. The name is Moore. I am the second daughter of the Moore dynasty, and my brother is the one and only young heir to our entire empire. The whole office goes completely dead silent. The Moore family, the second most powerful corporate dynasty in the country, sitting right behind the massive Jar Group. The Moore syndicate is famous for being incredibly ruthless and fiercely protective of our blood. And I am that single heir my entire family guards with their lives. On the floor, Blake's stepmother is totally frozen, desperately trying to deny reality. That's impossible. Why would the Moore elite ever come to this town? Luna just lets out a cutting laugh. A second later, she reaches under her collar and pulls out a custom necklace. Blue and white diamonds, carrying my initial Y, and stamped with our unmistakable Moore family crest. The stepmother's smug face goes instantly pale. Her knees practically give out as she staggers forward. "Miss Moore, please, this is all just a massive misunderstanding, I swear." But my sister doesn't even bother looking her way. She just speaks without turning. "A misunderstanding. I came here to protect my brother, whatever the excuses. I really don't care about the details." The parents of Blake's loser crew turn white with panic. One dad scrambles backward to save himself. "Miss Moore, we had absolutely nothing to do with this mess. My boy never laid a hand on your brother." Luna catches this, and her eyes blaze. "Relax, every single accomplice in this room is going down too." Before she even finished speaking, the doors bang open and several city police officers charge inside. They slap heavy handcuffs on Blake and his whole bully crew, marching them right out. Then Luna faces the vice principal, who is literally shaking next to her. A faint, freezing smile crosses her face. "I am really not satisfied with how your school handled my brother. I'll manage things from here." The guy nods frantically, swearing up and down he won't interfere and everything will stay quiet. That very night, my older sister Arya strikes. The whole city's power gets violently reshuffled. The pathetic for elite families get completely wiped and re-evaluated. The Blake family loses everything and gets banned from the list entirely. Just one night, and their world completely flipped upside down. 2 days later, Luna finally escorts me back to City C. Even Arya, who practically lives at the office, flies straight home just to hang out with me for a day. I let out a deep sigh. I had actually planned to lay low in Cydia for 2 whole years, then return for my senior year. Never expected my cover to blow apart so fast. Whatever, if I'm back, I'm back. Nobody in City C would ever dare touch me anyway. Next move, finding a new school. Luna goes to Maplewood High, which our family actually owns. But I really don't want to bump into old faces, so I pick Maplewood's fiercest rival instead, Thornfield High. Both my sisters just let me have my way. The next morning, I get dressed and head to my brand new campus. The second I step out the front doors, 2 rows of estate staff snap to attention, bowing together. We wish the young master an amazing first day. The familiar routine nearly cracks me up. Luna, though, stays totally unfazed. She pulls the car door open without skipping a beat. 20 minutes later, we roll to a stop. I stare blankly at the sign reading Thornfield High, then I glance right next door. That is Maplewood High. I flinch and whip my head the other way. Luna's bright blue and white hair stands out like a sore thumb. We park smoothly outside Thornfield High. Luna steps out and hurries around to my side of the vehicle. She gently opens my door, wearing a soft smile. "Reese, we made it." I flash my sweetest grin back. "Catch you later, Luna." But she grabs my arm, clearly anxious. "Maplewood is right next door. Ring me the second anything goes down. Even if it is nothing, call me, I'm always ready." I nod, turning toward the gates. I march inside without looking back. Only when I'm totally out of sight does Luna drop her smile. She marches straight over to the neighboring Maplewood. Meanwhile, my homeroom teacher guides me to class, supposedly the smartest group in the entire grade. The teacher tells me to introduce myself. I step up to the podium and barely mumble, "Hi, my name is," before a harsh voice interrupts. Some guy in the back sneers, "Perfect, a random transfer student dropping in from nowhere. Do not go ruining what we built here." Before I can even fire back, the teacher steps in with a glare across the room. "Reese actually scored higher than every single one of you. At his old high school, he led the grade every single term." The second that sinks in, the buzzcut guy jumps up, face burning red, and quickly apologizes to me. The vibe in the room flips instantly. I offer a small smile to show no hard feelings. Then I turn back to the class, speaking calmly, "Hey, everyone. I'm Reese. I transferred in from City A. Hope we get along." I hold that friendly smile locked on my face. This entire act is a carefully built persona for my fresh start. Back at Crestholm, I ruled the school. With Luna watching my back, nobody dared to mess with me, but right now, Luna is just next door. I just want to fly under the radar as a regular student. But the second I finish talking, the entire room goes dead silent, then breaks into massive applause. Whispers spread across the desks instantly. I catch a few muttered words. "Miss Ash, what is happening?" Right then, the teacher speaks up, pointing straight to an empty desk in the second to last row. "Reese, grab that spot." At that, the room absolutely loses it. He is sitting beside Miss Ash. Is he not terrified of getting tossed from his chair? Miss Ash hasn't even been here all week. But the next comment freezes me in my tracks. Doesn't matter if she skips class. She still crushes the exams every time. My jaw drops. This invisible seatmate of mine, who hasn't even shown up yet, is clearly not somebody to take lightly. While I'm still standing there totally shocked, a polite guy actually gets up and carries my massive stack of textbooks over to my new desk. I quickly thank him. He turns and flashes a friendly grin. "Hey, I'm Elliot." I smile back, already liking the guy. But a second later, I spot a pen resting on the empty desk next to me, the exact same limited edition model as mine. Just like that, it clicks in my head. This missing seatmate of mine is definitely a person you do not want to cross. Right then, the teacher taps his desk for attention, but a girl in the front row shouts out loud, "Teacher, you forgot to announce. Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention in class." The entire room completely cracks up. To my shock, the teacher just smiles and plays along. "Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention in class." I'm totally amazed. The vibe in here is incredible. My previous school was nothing but brutal academic rivalry and plastic smiles. That is exactly why I constantly skipped, but this place actually makes me feel alive. Elliot slides a quiz paper my way. I glance at the questions and instantly realize it's a total joke, painfully easy. So, I just start sketching all over the margins. Once I finally get bored of drawing, I happen to peek at my absent seatmate's notebook. A breeze blows it open, revealing one single word written on the page shen. The ink is graceful but sharp, and it hits me like a freight train to the ribs. How is that word here? How is that the exact same handwriting? With a soft click, my pen slips from my fingers and hits the floor. One thought floods my brain. Didn't she tell me she was heading down south for high school? I moved here purely to avoid her. We haven't crossed paths in almost a year, yet that written name yanks me straight back to middle school. A loud, fearless girl resting her chin in both hands, pouting as she whined my name. Reese. Back then, I asked her, Thornfield or Maplewood. She gnawed on her lip, genuinely upset. But if we pick different schools, I can't hang out with you every single second anymore. I need to see you every single day. That one selfish line made my heart surrender completely. All right, then we both go to Maplewood. She finally flashed a grin. No matter what Reese says, I'll be the one protecting you. Right then, Elliot's voice snaps me back. Hey, you dropped your pen. I take it from him. My head is spinning. No, it can't be her. She promised she was heading to Maplewood. But before I can even fully convince myself, I turn my head and lock eyes with a furious glare through the window. Some teacher is glaring right at me with absolute fury. A second later, he shouts, "You, brown hair, get out here. Who said you could dye your hair? Come to my office after class." I am completely thrown off. Thornfield bans dyed hair. I have had this brown hair for almost a whole year. The bell rings, and I immediately turn to Elliot. Who exactly is that teacher? Elliot looks at me dead serious. That is the Dean of Discipline. You better dye it back fast, or you are writing a formal apology. Thornfield is notoriously strict for the first 2 years. My stomach just drops. I never expected the rules to be this insanely tight. Then again, they only apply to the first 2 years. Next door at Maplewood, students walk around with every color of the rainbow in their hair, and nobody even bats a single eye. So, I quickly ask Elliot, where exactly is the Dean of Discipline's office? Surprising me, Elliot packs up his papers and stands up. Forget it, I will take you. He turns to his seatmate, Zara, asking her to cover. She gives a cheerful little salute. Yes, sir. Class President Elliot, sir. Elliot drags me downstairs, leading me all the way to the office door. He then stops and leans in close. Just say you are a new transfer student and didn't know the dress code. He won't be too hard on you. I will wait out here. A warm feeling settles in my chest. I thank him, take a deep breath, and push the door open. What I do not know is that right then, Out at the front school entrance, a storm is quietly brewing. A girl with dark red hair leans against the brick wall, visibly tired of waiting. Right then, another girl comes sprinting toward her, clutching a tablet with a sly grin. Ash, guess what I just saw? Before Ash can even respond, the girl blurts it right out. You finally have a seatmate now, and he is a male transfer student. The air practically freezes. Everyone at Thornfield knows Ash hates having a seatmate more than absolutely anything else, but she is the school board director's very own daughter. Nobody in the entire school dares to ever cross her. Dyeing her hair, skipping class, getting into crazy fights, she does it all, and the administration never says a word. When she is happy, she casually tops the grade without even trying, but when she is in a bad mood, she makes everyone miserable. The moment she hears some guy has been seated next to her, one thought flashes through her brain. There is only one guy she would ever share a desk with. Her expression goes completely stone cold. She bites out 3 words, "Let's go see." I know absolutely none of this. Back in class, the room has already completely exploded. Ash, Vera, and Serena, all 3 of the legendary heiresses, have shown up at once. Zara does not hold back. Ash, what made you actually show up to school today? Vera throws her arm around Serena's shoulder, grinning with obvious intent. Isn't it obvious? She is here to check out the new transfer student. The very next second, Ash's eyes lock right onto my seat. Seeing the books and pen clearly belonging to a guy, her expression instantly goes dark enough to drip. Not a single person in that classroom dares to breathe. Everyone is thinking the exact same thing. This transfer student is totally finished. Just then, Vera speaks up. Where did the guy sitting here go? Zara quickly answers, left on leave sometime after 8. He probably won't be back until around 11. Before she even finished speaking, Serena marches forward without a single word and shoves my entire desk and chair to the very back of the room. Zara opens her mouth to speak, but one sharp look from Vera stops her cold. With the seat beside her finally empty again, Ash's intense expression softens. She leans back lazily. Whatever, we will deal with him later. Just like that, the class bell rings. My desk sits in the back of the room, while I am still busy dealing with the Dean of Discipline, completely oblivious to the massive storm waiting for me. I head back to the school carrying some candy I bought earlier, perfectly clueless about what is coming next. The moment I reach the main building, my best friend calls. She wants to sneak in and hang out, but a second later, she starts shrieking on the phone. She suddenly remembered a date with an older guy. You always ditch me for a guy. I hang up, turn around, and catch a quick glimpse of 3 figures heading toward the school gate. That girl with dark red hair is among them. Her back looks so annoyingly familiar. But I don't think much about it and just walk straight into class. The moment I step through the door, my jaw hits the floor. Where is my seat? The space where I sat is totally empty. My desk and chair have been shoved to the very back of the classroom. I immediately track down Elliot. He tells me quietly, it was my seatmate, the one I haven't even met yet. She hates having a seatmate, fair enough. Honestly, pretty bold, but I never pay attention in class anyway, so it really does not matter where I sit. I walk to the back row, barely sitting before the bell rings. Our math teacher walks in with the tests and drops a bombshell. Zara, first place, 129 points. The only student in the whole school to break 120. The classroom erupts into applause. Even Elliot, sitting right beside her, looks totally starstruck. Zara, that's insane. You're incredible. Elliot even admits with a heavy sigh that he didn't break 120 either, but Zara just laughs it off. Just got lucky. I clap along with everyone, feeling totally dead inside. Then the tests get passed out, and the whole classroom instantly starts groaning. Only 106. Was that last question even meant for humans? But our teacher claims the class average still ranks highest in the entire school. While everyone keeps buzzing with complaints, our teacher suddenly goes dead silent. He clears his throat and starts breaking down that final question, the exact one nobody in the whole school solved correctly. The worst part is how much he loves cold calling students. A second later, his eyes sweep across the room and lock dead on me. The kid with brown hair, you're the new transfer, right? My stomach drops, but I stand up anyway. I'm Reese. He nods with a small smile, but what comes out of his mouth next makes the whole classroom hold their breath. Then Reese, walk us through how you'd solve this problem. I pick up my paper, totally calm. Sure, this question. I crushed this stuff back in middle school. Advanced math is a total joke to me. With the whole class watching in stunned silence, I start talking. A full 20 minutes go by. When I finish, the room is dead quiet. Then the shocked gasps roll in. What the actual heck? This transfer kid is built different. He has a second solution method. Isn't that stuff they don't even teach until senior year? Even the math teacher looks blown away. He actually starts a slow clap himself. Reese, both solutions are absolutely perfect. I barely sit back down before the bell rings, and before I can even move, a massive crowd of classmates swarms my desk. Everyone's rushing to introduce themselves. I keep my warm smile plastered on and tell them I'll remember every single name. A girl with bright eyes looks up at me. Reese, that was amazing. That question was incredibly brutal and you just solved it flawlessly. I almost blurt out, it really wasn't that hard. How did none of you get it? But I bite my tongue and pivot. Thanks for the kind words. I just happened to have seen it before. But her next sentence makes me the absolute center of the whole classroom. I think our top student ranking is about to change. I just blink, keeping my humble act going. I'll do my best. Another girl slides over with a huge smile, and the rest of the class acts incredibly welcoming. Reese, anything you need, just ask me. Cash is the one thing I never run short on. While everyone is still fighting for my attention, somebody suddenly shifts gears. Reese, how come you haven't dyed your hair back? I nod slowly. Yeah, about that. Somebody else jumps in right away. Thornfield is incredibly strict about hair colors. Only seniors and one other person actually dare to break that rule. One person. My mind instantly flashes to the dark red hair I spotted near the school gates. Just then, a kid leans in with a super mysterious look, dropping their voice. Do you know why your desk got moved? But before they can even finish the sentence, Zara casually drifts over, shooting the guy an icy sideways glare. Her voice comes out slow and dead flat. You really want to talk about her? That shuts the gossip down instantly. They laugh it off and totally change the subject. I feel a quick flash of irritation. Why did she just kill the conversation? But I keep my expression neutral, acting mildly curious. Sure enough, somebody else leans in right away and drops their voice. Your original seatmate is the school tyrant, literally the most notorious person at Thornfield. Vicious temper, never lets anybody sit beside her. The second she walked in this morning, she kicked your desk away. And that's not all, they drop an even bigger bombshell. The two girls sitting behind you right now. They're two of Thornfield's top 4 elites. And your original seatmate, both school tyrant and top elite. That's when it finally clicks. I've been placed beside the most untouchable students in this whole school. They realize nobody's stopping the gossip and just keep going, getting super animated. Now they're giving me a complete rundown of City C's major power families. I listen to the chatter, but my brain is working through something else entirely. Who exactly is this terrifying school tyrant? Just as I grab my phone to search her up, a sharp voice slices right through the room. Which prep school did you transfer from? I look up. It's Cole, that guy from the morning introductions. He's standing there with his arms completely crossed, eyes full of heavy scrutiny. I smile lightly and answer with 2 words, Crestholm Academy. The second it lands, the entire classroom explodes. Crestholm, the ultra-elite academy that only the heirs of the top 4 families can ever enter. Cole's smug face falls instantly, and the way the rest of the class looks at me totally shifts, gaining a lot more respect in their wide eyes. I immediately get added to the class group chat. But right as everyone starts heading to lunch, Elliot, a guy who never initiates anything with anybody, actually turns to look at me. I'll take you to the cafeteria. Half the class, nearly everyone's jaw hits the floor. This is Elliot. He never makes the first move. I just grin and reply, sure thing, thanks, Elliot. Just like that, we leave together. The instant we step into the main corridor, my brown hair practically sets the school hallway on fire. Wait, a freshman with dyed hair. I got busted for just a tiny pink streak. How is he totally fine? Exactly, aside from Miss Ash, who else in our grade has that kind of nerve? The very next moment, a guy in a pink shirt, clearly one of the academy heavyweights, snaps his head up. Who do you think you are? Keep your mouth shut. The kid talking takes one look at him and goes completely pale, stammering out in pure panic. Leo. So that is Leo, the second son of the Luo family, spoiled so completely rotten by his wealthy parents that absolutely nobody at Thornfield dares cross him. Leo lets out a cold scoff and strolls away with his buddy. I watch his back and start thinking. By the time we hit the dining hall, Elliot is staring at me with wide, eager eyes. He finally speaks up. Reese, you actually went to Crestholm. I give a nod. Yev. Elliot instantly lets out a heavy breath, his voice completely dripping with envy. Crestholm is the kind of elite prep school where just standing outside the gates feels like an absolute achievement. We chatted the whole walk over. The Thornfield cafeteria is totally massive. 5 different buildings, 6 floors each, packed with more meal options than you could ever count. The second Elliot sits down, his curiosity completely takes over. Reese, the brown hair, the disciplined dean, didn't say a word. I shake my head, totally chill about it. He did, but whatever. Elliot catches my completely unbothered vibe and decides to drop it. After eating, I head back to Westview Estate by myself and crash on my bed, but something keeps bugging me. I sit up, grab my phone, and load the Thornfield student network. I search for school tyrant, nothing. I search top girl, still nothing. How is that even possible? Every single trace has been wiped clean. Then it clicks in my brain, Thornfield is a Shen family asset. No matter how powerful someone is, could they actually outrank the Shens? Unless an impossible name suddenly flashes across my mind. No, she is supposed to be at the same exact high school as Luna. I just kill the screen and pass out. By the time I finally wake up, classes are ending. I rush back to the classroom and barely grab my seat before the final bell goes off. Right then, my phone vibrates. It is my cousin Rosie. I step out into the hall to answer it. Her loud, cheerful voice blasts through the speaker. Reese, I heard you are back in town. I smile and tell her yes, but there is insane background noise on her end. Where are you? Why so loud? Rosie drops her voice, sounding resigned. Internet cafe. She pivots fast. Reese, you are at Maplewood, right? I am coming to see you, I answer her super sweetly. I am at Thornfield. Rosie pauses. Why are you at Thornfield? Luna and I both go to Maplewood. I just brush it off. Heard Thornfield has much better discipline. She lets it drop. Fine, you are in class, right? Wait up for me after school. I will sneak inside and find you. The last period just finished when I look up and catch someone in a cap and a blue-collar uniform waiting by the door. She tilts her head back, and right from under that cap brim spills a wild mess of bright grey-pink hair. It is definitely Rosie. I walk straight over with a massive grin. Rosie, she snaps her face up, showing off these strikingly gorgeous features. Dark eyes, super clear and warm, the whole hallway fills with loud gasps. Oh wow, she is stunning. Who is that? These to have serious nerve, rocking dyed hair and all. Then some kid shrieks, wait, is that the Song family's Rosie? The top girl over at Maplewood? How did she even sneak in here? While everyone is still whispering, Rosie steps right forward and grabs my arm. Reese, let's grab food. I nod with a huge smile and follow her out. I just cannot help asking, Rosie, where did you score that campus uniform? She grins, looking incredibly proud of herself. The security lady at the front gates handed it over. We go way back. But right then, a harsh voice explodes behind us. Hey, you two up front with the illegal dyed hair. My stomach completely drops out. I slowly turn around. The disciplined dean is standing dead in our path, her face looking dark as a thunderstorm. We are so busted. Her eyes lock on me first. Transfer student. Did I not tell you to fix that hair today? Then she pivots straight toward Rosie, her eyes narrowing down. And who are you? How did you break in? My heart shoots directly up into my throat, but Rosie acts perfectly innocent, almost offended, as she meets the angry dean's gaze with absolute conviction. Teacher, you do not remember me. I am one of Thornfield's best model students. I nearly burst out laughing right on the spot. The strict dean actually freezes, her face suddenly full of doubt. but she recovers fast and jabs an angry finger at our heads. I do not care who you are. Thornfield strictly forbids dyed hair. Rosie instantly stands up straight, the absolute picture of total sincerity. Of course, teacher, we completely understand the rules. I play along instantly, pasting on my most cooperative smile. Do not worry, teacher, I will dye it back by the 32nd. Rosie nods hard. Exactly. Teacher, by the 32nd, you will see perfectly black hair on both of our heads. The dean nods, looking completely satisfied. Good. Then you too. Before she even finishes, Rosie grabs my hand. We spin around and bolt full speed toward the school gate. Seeing us run, the dean finally snaps out of it, stomping her foot in pure rage. Wait, May doesn't have 32 days. You to stop right there, her angry yells chase us, but we just run faster. Meanwhile, all the way across town at a restaurant, Vera checks the time and suddenly leaps to her feet. Ash, my dad just got back to the country. I really need to disappear. Ash slowly lowers her phone, just one word. Okay. Serena stands up smoothly. All three of them walk straight out of the restaurant side by side. They barely step onto the street before Ash reaches into her pocket, popping a lollipop right into her mouth. Vera leans close. Ladies, tomorrow we are all going to class like good little students. My dad is home, and if I skip again, he will literally destroy me. Ash answers with complete indifference. Serena just looks at Vera and says softly, whatever you want. Right then, they happen to walk past a high school campus. Suddenly, a guy in overalls gets shoved forward by his buddies, stumbling right into Ash's path. He rocks a center-parted haircut and squeaks out, Hey, what are you doing? Then he takes a deep breath, lifts his head, and shoots Ash this really shy smile. Hi, can I get your number? Vera instantly perks right up, throwing an arm around Serena's shoulder. She whispers with a wicked little grin, TSK, you seeing this? With a face like Ash has, I would do the exact same thing if I were a guy. Serena stares, totally done, while Ash just clicks her tongue and bites right through her lollipop. Her icy eyes sweep over the kid without a single ounce of interest. 3 words, flat and dead as stone. Not interested, but the Center Park guy refuses to quit. He keeps pushing, just one contact, please. Ash's patience vanishes completely. She flicks her lollipop stick straight into the trash, and the air temperature around her seems to plunge. Her gaze is sharp enough to cut glass. The guys stumble backward. Ash doesn't even spare them another look. She walks right around them and keeps on going. The Center Park guy watches her leave, muttering under his breath with a super dejected look, why so cold? But a second later, he actually pivots and aims right for Vera and Serena instead. Can I get either of your numbers? Vera and Serena lock eyes. They both freeze up. This dude has absolutely zero shame. They politely decline and speed up to catch up with Ash, leaving the Center Park guy stomping the pavement in total frustration. His buddy mutters quietly beside him, Hey, didn't that one girl look an awful lot like Vera? The Center Park guy just scoffs. You have never even met her. How would you possibly know what she looks like? But even as he says it, Kane is not so sure himself. He had only seen Vera one single time, back at her 10th birthday party. After that, he never got another chance to attend that kind of rich gathering. Could that really have been her just now? Ash and the girls split up and head on home the very next day. Right by the entrance of Thornfield High, Rosie and I just bolt through the school gate when I spot Luna standing there waiting. The exact moment she sees me, her icy expression melts completely, and a gentle smile pulls at her lips. That single smile is enough to make the entire crowd explode. Wow, Luna looks stunning. Hey, Rosie is here, too. Wait, how did she come out of our school? Hold on. Who is Luna waiting for? Why is she walking straight toward that guy? Everyone in City C knows that Luna is famously difficult, yet she is still Maplewood's highest voted top girl. And right there beside her stands Rosie from the Song family. Our families go way back. Rosie and I actually grew up together as cousins. In this town, no one dares to mess with either of them. Yet here are both of Maplewood's absolute biggest names, standing with some random guy. I walk over to Luna fast, calling out to her using my absolute sweetest tone. She looks down at me and gently ruffles my hair. Reese, let's go home, but Rosie quickly speaks up. Luna, let me take Reese around the area for a bit. Luna hesitates. Rosie immediately presses a hand to her chest and promises, trust me. Reese has not been back to this city in forever. I will show him around. I will have him home by 8. Guaranteed. Only then does Luna nod fine. Keep him safe, and don't take him anywhere sketchy like a pool hall. With Luna's approval, I follow Rosie obediently. We climb straight into her sports car. The engine barely roars to life when a loud buzz of gossip hits me from behind. She let him ride shotgun. No guy ever gets to sit there, honestly. I think only Luna has ever sat in that seat. The chatter swarms like annoying flies. I don't even bother. I just glance over at Rosie. Where are we headed? She flashes a smile. I will show you around. 10 minutes later, we pull up in front of a massive shopping mall. Rosie literally opens my door. After you, young master. We head straight into the arcade up on the 3rd floor. I have played this stuff plenty of times back in Cydia, but I still run like a kid to the claw machine. Rosie, I want to play this one. She immediately cashes out a massive stack of coins for me. But after a few solid tries, I cannot win a single prize. I puff out my cheeks in pure frustration. I really thought my gaming skills had improved. Rosie pats my shoulder gently. Take it easy. Just keep trying. I drop another coin. The claw almost has it, then drops the toy. I refuse to accept this. I swap arcade machines and try over 10 more times. Still nothing. The claw keeps cheating me. People are starting to gather, and someone actually chuckles. A small kid dressed in a tiny suit points right at me, shouting, "Look, that guy tried 30 times and still can't win a prize. So dumb." The older boy next to him, sporting a wolf-tail hairstyle, suddenly grabs him. "Pip, apologize right now," but Pip isn't having it at all. He makes a face and bolts away. I am not apologizing. Mom says I am the most precious young master of the Luo family. Kane is fuming mad, but he still turns around to offer me an apology. Then he locks eyes with me and just freezes. He spots Rosie standing right beside me and entirely short-circuits. Rosie at a shopping mall with a guy. The sight is way too surreal to process. He stammers out an apology. "Sorry about that. My brother has been spoiled rotten. Please do not mind him." I wave it off and go back to fighting the claw game. It is fine. Rosie shoots Kane a single icy glare, sending a very visible shiver down his spine. He hurries off chasing Pip. Then Rosie steps up right beside me and says simply, "Let me." She drops in 2 coins. The claw lowers, grips perfectly around a small stuffed bear, and she hands it directly to me. I stand there totally stunned. How in the world did she win it on her first try? Still, I take the plushie and look up at her with wide eyes. "Rosie, you are incredible." Sure enough, the praise works magic. Her mood clearly brightens. "Good, I am glad you like it. Let's play something else." Right then, a girl nearby makes a very pointed comment to the guy next to her. "See, she won it on the first try." I glance over. The girl is dressed in wealthy designer clothes. The guy next to her rubs his head, looking embarrassed. "Babe, arcades aren't really my thing." Then, he stops mid-sentence and yells like he just saw a ghost. "Oh my goodness, Rosie." He walks right up to her, grinning ear to ear. "Rosie, you might not know me, but I am the 3rd son recently recognized by the Yen family." Rosie pauses and looks him up and down with an amused head tilt. "Oh, the Yen family's illegitimate son. Yeah, never heard of you." Just one sentence, and Rex's big smile shatters instantly. I am dying of laughter inside, and outside I really just tried to network with Rosie. The girl next to him finally grasps the situation and turns on Rex with absolute disgust. "Hey, just stop embarrassing yourself." Rex shoots a furious glare at her. "Do not push me." That completely sets her off. "You dare glare at me, you dare snap. We are done." I have been tired of this for a long time. Rex panics the moment he hears the word done. He totally forgets about Rosie and chases after his girlfriend. "Babe, I didn't mean it like that. Do not call me that. You don't deserve to." Rosie literally does not give the pathetic scene a second glance. She leads me straight upstairs to the 4th floor food court. She waits in line to buy me some boba tea, and her beauty alone causes chaos. Whispers, stares, and a few brave guys trying to score her number. I lounge in a chair swiping through my phone, completely bored, rejecting several girls who walk over asking for my digits. Suddenly, Kane's voice slices across the dining area. "Pip, do not run." I look up and nearly laugh out loud. Kane is dragging Pip toward me, absolutely furious. "Pip, what you did back at the arcade was wrong. Apologize right this second, or I am never bringing you out here again." And I am telling my second brother. The second Pip hears the words, "second brother," his tough guy act completely crumbles. His eyes well up, and he stares at Kane in absolute panic. "Kane, please do not tell him. Do not slash my allowance. I still need to buy so many video games." But Kane refuses to budge. A second later, he hauls Pip right in front of my table and forces him to apologize. Pip looks like he just chewed a lemon. He mumbles out a weak, "Sorry." His whole expression screams, "I am being forced into this." That pathetic apology lights Kane's fuse. He pulls out his smartphone. "Apologize properly, or I am calling my second brother right now." That does the trick. Pip goes pale and drops into a full 90-degree bow, his voice suddenly booming and clear. "I am so sorry, mister. You are incredibly handsome, and I truly, truly know I was wrong." The couples nearby hide giggles behind their hands. I watch the entire ridiculous display and cannot stop the amused smile tugging at the corners of my own mouth. Just then, Rosie strolls back over holding our bubble tea. She lets out a soft laugh and hands me my drink with a straw already poked through. I take it without any fuss. "Thank you, Rosie." Pip watches us trade drinks and nervously tugs at Kane's sleeve. "Kane, are we good?" Kane waves a hand. "Yeah, we are done here." He gives me a nod, then turns and walks away with little Pip. We hang out until nearly 7 o'clock. Rosie treats me to dinner and then drives me home. The next morning hits, and I sleep totally through my blaring alarm. By the time I actually make it to school, it will be 4th period. But after thinking it over, I decide to show up anyway. I throw on a simple white tee, plaster on my most innocent expression, and pull off a perfectly harmless high schooler vibe. Thankfully, I manage to dodge the dean of discipline in the hallways. It is recess time, so I stroll into class, and the second I step through the door, the entire room drops dead silent. Every single student's eyes bounce back and forth between my face and my seatmate's desk. Students who had already stood up actually sit right back down. Clearly they're settling in for a show. I find it strange, but don't overthink it. My plan is to grab my bag and leave, but then I casually glance up and spot a girl sitting right beside my desk. My pupils shrink instantly. Her whole vibe is totally different, but I recognize her in 1 second flat. Why is her hair dyed? How did she end up here? Wait, how is she at Thornfield? And in my class, questions explode in my brain. I freeze completely. Right at that exact moment, Vera, catching the sudden shift in the room, glances my way without thinking. One look, and her eyes blow wide open in total shock. A second later, she slams her hand against the desk and shoots straight up. She lets out a sharp curse. "Oh damn." The sudden noise makes Ash, sitting up front, frown heavily. She doesn't even bother looking up, just gives a cold scarf. Seriously, the entire class is clueless. What is going on? Does Vera actually know the transfer student? Then Serena, sitting right next to Vera, looks up too. Following Vera's stare, her eyes land on me. Serena, who always keeps her cool, can't hold it together either. "What the?" She stands up as well, eyes totally locked onto mine. We go way back, from grade school through middle school. 10 full years together, but right before our big high school entrance exams, Ash vanished without a trace. When she finally returned, it was my turn to vanish. Nobody could find me. Much later, when people saw Ash again, she had dark red hair. She had become the bully, making all of Thornfield shake in fear. Serena snaps back to reality and stares at Ash, sitting up front acting like none of this is her problem. She just can't hold back. She calls out quietly, "Ash." Vera shakes off her shock, too, shouting with serious urgency, "Ash, put the phone down." Up front, Ash finally drops it and looks up, super impatient. What? A second later, our eyes meet. Ash shoots to her feet and closes the gap between us. Her stare is burning hot enough to melt steel. My entire body locks up tight. I step back on instinct, but I can't tear my eyes away from hers. How is she at Thornfield, and in my class of all places? Reese, just my name, voice shaking, carrying the heavy weight of something lost and found, and then the whole room erupts. My chest tightens up, my eyes start stinging for absolutely no reason at all. She is fixed completely on me, without a single flicker of hesitation. That teardrop mole by the corner of her left eye makes her look so dangerously stunning. It's that fierce, desperate look of someone who finally found what they lost. I can't handle it, so I force my eyes away, shove her backward with both hands, and bolt right out of that classroom like my life depends on it. The whole class freezes solid. Giddo really just. Ash just gets shoved in front of everybody, and there isn't a single trace of anger on her face. Instead, she watches my panicked escape while a slow smile pulls at her lips. Then she takes a long step forward and follows me straight out. The entire class watches until we are both gone. Then class completely loses their minds. What just happened? The new kid pushed Ash, and she didn't even get mad. She actually chased him. Something is definitely going on between us. Every single eye in the room snaps right to Vera and Serena, who are still standing there frozen. Vera, Serena, don't you guys dare play dumb. Start talking now, don't make me drop to my knees. Trapped by the desperate, starving curiosity of the entire class, Vera lets out a soft sigh. She doesn't say a word. Instead, she stands up under all those staring eyes and drags the desk behind Serena straight forward, right next to Ash's spot. It hits the floor with a loud thud. Those two desks are now pushed perfectly together. Once finished, she calmly walks back to her seat. So I was the new transfer student all along. If they had heard my name earlier, Ash wouldn't have guessed wrong yesterday. Meanwhile, Serena straightens her stuff and sits back down. She, the calmest person in the room, has totally fallen apart just now. Zara senses a massive piece of gossip brewing. She rubs her fingertips together and finally speaks up, shattering the quiet. Don't push Serena, but the second she does, a flood of questions comes crashing down. Wait, do you actually know him? Serena is losing it. Who is this new guy? Ash just called him Reese. What kind of connection is that? Right then, Zara slaps her thigh and gasps loudly. I just remembered. Yesterday, the transfer student said his name was Reese. Ash's name is Ash Shen. Their names sound just like a couple's name. The entire class sucks in a sharp breath. I could have just introduced myself normally, but instead, it sounds like we matched our names on purpose. Zara is totally convinced she just cracked the biggest secret of the year. She turns right to Serena. So, what exactly is going on between them? Serena's expression softens. Her voice takes on a rare, gentle warmth. Vera thinks for a second, then drops the massive bomb. He's our friend, 10 years. The whole class sits stunned. Before anyone can process it, Zara pushes even further. Okay, so he's your friend, but what about Ash? Vera and Serena exchange a look, their expressions shift, turning totally serious in a flash. They speak at the exact same time, then the real bombshell drops. Here's Ash's bottom line. Serena clearly thinks that isn't quite enough to deliver the full impact, so she twists the knife. He and Ash have known each other since birth, way longer than they've known us. Class completely loses it. Childhood friends with 3 heiresses. Plus the school tyrant claiming he's her untouchable limit. Known each other since birth. Any single piece of that is enough to make everyone in City seasick with total jealousy. Meanwhile, by the second floor stairwell, I finally stop running. Pushing her away back there was pure instinct. Now that my head is clearing, I feel totally lost. Wait, why did I run? Ash disappeared first. Honestly, if anyone should be running away, it's her. I'm just trying to get a grip when a warm, smooth hand grabs my wrist tight. My heart lurches. I stumble back on pure instinct. Ash's lips curve into a faint, mocking smile, pinning me right in place with zero room to move. Why are you running from me? Her eyes are dead locked onto mine. Knuckles totally white from gripping me so hard. Her breathing is fast, almost alarming to hear. I look down and fall straight into those deep, dark eyes. My heart skips a beat. I quickly drop my gaze, a voice in my head muttering, "You were the one who left first." Ash keeps her intense stare on me, waiting for some explanation. Instead, she watches me struggle for words, only to swallow them right back down. It almost makes her laugh in pure disbelief. It's peak break time right now, the stairwell is packed. Ash, tall and commanding, has me cornered flat against the wall, looking every bit like a high school bully. Nervous whispers erupt all around us. Why is Ash blocking some guy at the stairwell? Wait, isn't that the new transfer student? How did he even get on her radar? Ash hears the chatter, her cold eyes snap up. One word, quiet but sharp, "Leave," just a single word, and her terrifying presence fills the whole stairwell. Every single bystander scatters instantly. Nobody in their right mind risks making her mad. I hear the threat too, and I freeze solid. How did she end up like this? The whole campus is terrified of her. The girl I knew is gone, but when Ash spots the sheer fear in my eyes, all that ice evaporates in a split second, replaced by something heartbreakingly soft. "Reese, why are you hiding from me?" I keep my head down and stay dead silent. Then the warning bell blasts through the stairwell. I look away and mumble, "Class is starting." Ash lets out this laugh of utter disbelief. "With your brain, you actually need to sit through a lesson." My eyes turn red instantly. I glare right up at her. "You're being mean." Even knowing perfectly well that I'm faking it, Ash completely drops her tough act. She throws both hands up in total surrender, voice dropping so soft it sounds like she's holding something fragile. No, my fault. If anyone else caught her doing this, their eyes would literally pop right out of their skulls. This is the legendary Tara Thornfield. Right now she looks like a sad golden retriever begging for a treat. I sniffle and repeat myself, "Class is starting." Ash gives up entirely. She lets me go with a helpless sigh. I practically sprint away, but glancing over my shoulder, I see her reach into her pocket for a small mint tin. She pauses for 2 seconds. I know exactly what she's thinking. I'm back, and she has all the time in the world to keep an eye on me, or even lock me up if it comes to that. She crunches the mint. Ash strolls back to the classroom door, acting totally casual, and calls out her presence, which never happens. Up front, the teacher snaps his chalk clean in half from pure shock. Something is seriously off with Ash today. Why is she acting so weird? But she couldn't care less about the room's reaction. She walks right over and sits directly beside me. I'm sitting perfectly straight, eyes glued to the front board, playing the role of a perfect model student with absolute commitment. Ash just smiles. "Keep it up by all means." Right now, if I could actually focus on the lesson, she'd write her own name backward. For the entire class period, Ash doesn't sleep once. She props her head on one hand and stares right at me, not even trying to hide it. That burning gaze feels like it's burning a hole right through my face. Finally, I hit my absolute limit. I scribble a quick line in my notebook and shove it toward her desk. "Why do you keep staring at me?" Ash reads it but says nothing. Instead, she pulls out her phone and shoves a QR code right in my face. I freeze. Her old contact info is long gone anyway. I hesitate for a second, then scan it. The second her profile loads, my eyes go wide. The display picture is a photo of me from behind, wearing overalls on my 11th birthday. The username is still a single word, Ash, 10 whole years, and she hasn't changed it once. Something deep in my chest violently seizes up. I swallow down the heavy wave of emotion burning behind my eyes and tap, and she accepts instantly. The bell rings. Ash shoots me one long, heavily loaded look before heading off to lunch with Vera and Serena. The second she's gone, every single suppressed whisper in the classroom explodes at once. Oh man, that look she gave him. They are definitely childhood sweethearts. It's totally confirmed. The loud gossip gives me a massive headache. It isn't until the room mostly empties out that Elliot slides in beside me. "Reese, let's go eat." Walking to the cafeteria, he finally cracks. "So you and Ash, did you actually grow up together?" I pause, then finally voice the question nagging at my brain. Why is everyone here so terrified of Ash? Is it just her family's name? Elliot instantly lowers his voice, scanning the hallway like someone is eavesdropping. It isn't just her status. Early this year, Ash nearly beat a top-tier prep school girl to death. Right here in the city, Blood was everywhere. I freeze in my tracks. Elliot pushes on. That was the only time Ash totally lost it. No teacher or student dared to intervene. Even her best friends, Vera and Serena, couldn't drag her off. You know how it stopped. Luna from Maplewood arrived and clocked Ash. No warning, just a massive punch. Elliot shakes his head in awe. Only time I have ever seen Ash take a brutal hit and not swing back. Luna is absolutely terrifying. I halt entirely. Luna is my sister. She has hated Ash since they were little. Her punching Ash makes sense. The real shock is what triggered Ash to completely lose her mind like that. Enough to just stand there and absorb my sister's punch. A million questions tangled together in my brain. I bury the feeling and trail Elliot inside. Almost instantly, every single pair of eyes in the lunchroom locks onto me. The whole place buzzes. Rumors take flight instantly. I sit and stab at my food, the surrounding whispers grinding on my nerves. Every single stare feels like a heavy weight trying to bore right through my skull. I make a hard vow right then. I am never stepping foot in this cafeteria again. Safely back in class, I pull up the student forum. Creepy candid photos of me are plastered everywhere. The replies are wild. Find out who this guy is in 10 minutes. Are you insane? You are hunting the guy Ash claimed. Then someone drops a clue. Saw him eating with Elliot yesterday. When students read that, the confusion spikes. Elliot, the 5th biggest power player in town. The totally icy, untouchable Elliot Chen, who only ever talks to his oldest friend Zara, is casually hanging out with a random transfer student. Then, a single reply breaks the internet. This guy's last name is Moore. Could he actually belong to the elite Moore family? Impossible. Their only heir is abroad. My scrolling thumb stops completely. Marcus Moore, my adopted cousin who moved away at age 6. I barely remember him. Meanwhile, over at a high-end restaurant off campus, Ash is idle swiping through her own phone. Suddenly, her thumb halts. A dangerous shadow crosses her face. Sitting across the table, Vera gulps her food down and cautiously mutters, Ash, the forum is blowing up with drama about us and Reese. Ash barely even frowns before Serena, typing silently in the seat beside her, whispers softly, handled. It is gone. Vera quickly refreshes her screen. Like magic, every single forum thread is wiped completely clean. Crisis averted. Vera immediately starts to complain. We totally could have grabbed lunch with Reese today. Why did we run away? Serena doesn't even look up. Snagging a slice of fish, she tosses it into Vera's bowl. Think about it. Push too hard. You scare him. Give the guy some breathing room. Ash stays quiet. She finishes her meal in silence, gently places her chopsticks down, and says, totally chill, skipping classes this afternoon. I am out of here. I will hunt him down tomorrow. Meanwhile, sitting in the classroom, I find a picture of Ash staring at me like I am her only prey. A second later, my screen glitches. The image vanishes. I hit refresh. The entire gossip thread is scrubbed. Before I can process that weirdness, I look up. The classroom window is absolutely swarming with students staring in. I feel like a zoo animal, trapped under 50 pairs of judging eyes. I bolt out of my chair and march outside. Lunch hour means open gates. A wave of disappointed groans follows me from the nosy crowd. I barely make it out the front entrance before my boots halt. I spot a familiar silhouette standing right by the Maplewood High gates. Luna. The second our eyes connect, my nerves snap tight. The dude standing next to her is muttering something under his breath, shooting me pure venom. I find this totally hilarious. I looked at him for 3 seconds and suddenly I am his mortal enemy. Alright. If he wants a rival, I already hate him back. Refusing to give him one more ounce of energy, I pivot and jog straight toward my sister's icy frame. I call out, loud and cheerful, Luna. Hearing her own name, she whips around instantly. That notoriously freezing glare melts the absolute second she realizes it is me. All that ice replaced with soft, total warmth. She hurries over to me. Reese, what are you doing out? Class is done. I let a tiny smirk tug at my mouth. All done. I was heading out early. Then I saw you. Most guardians would blow up over skipping school right now, but Luna looks genuinely, unironically proud. Good. I actually made it through half a day. That is amazing. The girls nearby just stand there with their jaws dropped. Wait, is that the legendary Luna actually smiling? That makes her even more terrifying. Just then, a bleached blonde girl tosses some trash without even looking. She leans in, practically buzzing with pure gossip energy. Is this cute guy Luna's boyfriend? Instantly, the guy who was glaring at me turns pale white. A boyfriend changes the entire dynamic, but Luna's eyes go dead cold and sharp as a knife. This is my brother, show some respect. The whole group freezes, her actual brother. The blonde girl instantly backpedals. Hey there, little, she stops right there. Luna's hand drops, heavy on her shoulder. A loud and clear warning. My brother, message received. The whole crew moves to a restaurant, and the second I sit down, fresh bubble tea appears right in front of me. Luna ruffles my hair like the rest of the table does not exist. That clearly stings someone across from us. Rex, the guy with the terrible comb-over, finally loses it. He twists his expensive watch, leaning in with a tone that fakes concern but cuts like a knife. Shouldn't you be in class right now? Skipping looks bad, and that dyed hair does not exactly scream model student. His eyes dart around as he speaks. As far as he knows, the real heir is overseas anyway. This is probably just some adopted sibling, a total outsider who would never dare cross the rich girl sitting right beside him. But before I even open my mouth, the blonde girl beside me absolutely explodes. She wrecks Rex without mercy. Who are you to manage his schedule? You have been clinging to her for months. Now you want to lecture someone else about hair color. Are you coming at Leo, or are you coming at everyone sitting here? That single sentence turns Rex bright red from neck to ears. Sweating and furious, he snaps toward the girl beside him. But she is just watching this whole drama play out with zero interest. When she catches his desperate pleading look, she smirks, but her eyes remain completely cold, like watching a stray dog act up. TSK, do not embarrass yourself with cheap tricks, be good, or I am going to be annoyed. She laughs, typical outsider mindset, small moves, tiny brain. Trying to pull a stunt like that in front of Luna's brother. That is literally begging to get destroyed. The rest of the group had been sick of Rex for a long time. Nobody here would willingly eat with him if it was not for her. Under the table, they have all scooted as far away as physically possible. Only she stays next to him, leaning back while basically treating him like empty space. Rex is full-on panicking now. He chased her for 2 solid months before she even gave him the time of day. No way he lets a few stupid words ruin this, so he fakes an apologetic smile and twists the knife in again. Sorry about that, man, but hey, school does not matter much anyway, right? Luna will take care of you. He puts heavy, deliberate emphasis on those last few words. Then he actually lifts his chin up, looking so proud. The girls around us just facepalm in disbelief. This idiot. Did he really just imply that Luna's flesh and blood brother is a kept pet? A flash of cold amusement hits my eyes trying a manipulative little trick like this right in front of me. Fine, you want to play a game, let's play. I drop my guard, looking soft, pouting, totally selling the image of a spoiled little prince. What do you mean by that? Are you calling me Luna's toy? Rex's fake smile completely locks up. He opens his mouth to backtrack, but I shut it down. I grab Luna's sleeve and whine, Luna, look at him. He is being so mean to me, and then I throw in a bratty little huff for maximum effect. That sound is the final straw. Luna's face goes pitch black. She stares up, her eyes locking onto the girl sitting directly across from her. Handle it. 2 brutal words, dropped like a pure threat. Her patience is zero. The only reason she has not moved on him herself is basic respect for her friend. The girl finally sits up, a slow, toxic smile spreads across her face, but her eyes are pure ice. Sorry, cutie, my ex forgot his place. I will toss him out. Wait, ex. Rex turns pale and slams both hands on the table. What? Did you just? Are you dumping me right now? Yesterday, I was flexing you to my entire circle. Now I am getting dumped in public. How is he supposed to face his friends after this? I will wire the breakup fee to your bank account. She does not even glance his way. Her voice is as casual as taking out the trash. You absolute idiot. You swung way above your weight class. That is not brave, it is pathetic. I watched the entire meltdown unfold with a quiet smirk. Then I lean back toward my sister, playing the spoiled prince act all the way to the end. Luna, I really dislike him. I do not want to share a table with this guy. Luna does not blink for a single second. She just messes up my hair with this totally protective smile. You hate him. Then he leaves. A staff member Rex gets escorted out, stumbling and completely humiliated. With that eyesore finally gone, the whole room's atmosphere instantly lifts. The girls left at our table drop their guard, finally revealing their real personalities. The blonde is the first one to lean over with a grin. Hey little bro, I'm Jojo, call me sis next. A girl with unmistakable old money elegance smiles warmly. I'm Albo, good to have you around. Then a softer voice, gentle as calm water, I'm Iris. Finally, the girl who just vanished Rex leans back, returning to that effortless, untouchable elite energy. Hey little one, I'm Ivy. Need anything? Come find me. I study the faces sitting right in front of me. These girls sit at the top of cities, see the Wong, the Chi, the Yu, and the Lin, the most powerful family names, all gathered together. I let it settle, my eyes drifting to Ivy, the Lin family heir. A quiet realization flickers deep in my mind, making me pause. I start to wonder if she actually knows the Lin family heir, but that thought vanishes instantly. I pull my gaze back to the group and effortlessly flash my sweetest, most agreeable smile. I keep my voice bright and soft. Hi everyone, I'm Reese. Luna's actual, real little brother. Just one sentence, and they're sold. My innocent face mixed with that elite status as Luna's blood sibling sends their approval ratings straight through the roof. They can immediately tell that I am the real deal. The whole vibe shifts instantly. Jojo raises an eyebrow, unable to hold back the million-dollar question. Wait, you go to Thornfield High? The second she asks, all three of the others lock onto me, eyes wide with pure curiosity. No wonder they've never seen me around Maplewood Academy. With my face and name, I'd be completely untouchable there, protected and held up by Luna, practically worshipped by the entire student body as the ultimate campus prize. A guy like Rex wouldn't even get a second glance. I just smile and nod to confirm it. Hearing that, all of them pull the exact same expression, genuine disappointment. They think it's a massive waste having me stuck at the rival school. Olba leans back against the sofa with effortless grace, poking fun at my sister's crazy secrecy. You just moved to the city recently, right? Luna kept her mouth totally shut about you. If I had a little brother like you, I'd show you off every single day. I just keep smiling, letting my eyes curve warmly. That's right. Eager to impress Luna's favorite sibling, these top-tier academy girls pull out every social trick they know. Staying in my good graces equals a permanent get-out-of-jail-free card with Luna. As long as they keep it respectful, Luna gladly lets them fawn over me. I even catch a quick flicker of amusement in her eyes while she watches. By the time we finish eating and feel completely satisfied, it's already 2 in the afternoon. We say goodbye to the overly enthusiastic group, and I slide right into the passenger seat beside Luna. The luxury car is quiet and smooth. I scroll through my phone out of pure boredom for a bit, but eventually, my curiosity wins out. I turn my head, blinking up at her. Luna, exactly who was that guy earlier? The words barely leave my mouth before Luna answers, her tone completely flat. The Yin family's illegitimate son. And just like that, my curiosity completely dies. The wealthy Yin family is practically famous for one thing, having secret outside children, 5 of them at last count. The car finally pulls into our private estate. Luna opens my door, and we walk side by side toward the grand entrance. Our housekeeper, Clara, rushes over to greet us right away. Young master, Miss Luna. Back so early today, Clara pretty much raised all 4 of us. US siblings are incredibly close. It's only with our parents that things feel distant. See, our parents are a massive love story, and we kids were purely accidental. Exactly how devoted are they to each other? Devoted enough that they haven't stepped foot home in 8 years. The absolute second Aya finished high school, my father handed her the keys to the entire company, and he took off to travel the globe with our mother. I've only seen my parents on screens since I was 7. I give Clara a warm, small smile. Yeah, took the afternoon off. Clara nods quietly, not pushing it. We finish dinner and each head straight up to our rooms. The next day, I show up to school as usual. Surprisingly, the strict dean of discipline takes one long look at my dyed brown hair and completely ignores the dress code violation. He even gives me a respectful nod. I breathe out, heading into class, but when I glance toward my normal seat out of habit, something feels totally off. Ash isn't there. Neither are Vera and Serena sitting in the back row. I don't think much about it. I sit down and start reading, completely ignoring the weird looks the class is throwing my way. Then, right near the end of fourth period, all three of the girls suddenly appear together at the classroom door. Ash walks straight over to her desk, drops into it without saying a single word, and just stares dead at me. She glares straight through the rest of the morning lesson, all the way until the lunch bell finally rings. I'm incredibly irritated by the time it sounds, so I just ignore her. The second the teacher leaves, I jump up and face Elliot in front of me. "Elliot, come eat with me." Elliot instantly agrees. His voice is easy and warm. "Let's go." He completely misses Ash's face going stone cold behind him. But then, Vera steps right forward from the back and throws a sharp look at Zara. Zara reads the signal instantly. The very next second, Zara leaps in front of Elliot. Her eyebrows dance. "Elliot, didn't you promise to buy me lunch?" His face goes totally blank. He opens his mouth to refuse, but three freezing glares lock onto him all at once. He turns slowly. Ash's face practically screams, "Try it and find out." Beside her, Vera flashes a smile, but it holds zero warmth. Even Serena, who usually hides everything, just glares pure warning at him. Around us, the other students scatter on pure instinct, rushing out of the room like their actual lives depend on it. Elliot sweats. He wouldn't dare speak. Zara grabs his arm and yanks him into the hall before he tries. Watching Elliot get dragged away completely against his will, I stand there, totally speechless. But Vera pretends everything is normal. She hooks her arm right through Ash's, turning to me with this blinding smile. "Reese, it has been forever. Ash missed you so much." Hearing my name like that, I just freeze right up. Something stings sharp behind my eyes, but I force a smile anyway. Right then, Serena, who almost never shows warmth, actually smiles at me. She speaks first. "Reese, eat with us. You cannot dodge Ash forever." Hearing that, Ash, still standing cold beside her, lets something tiny and quiet flicker in her eyes. I know exactly where the dining hall is, but for some reason, I nod. We walk out together and instantly become the dead center of the entire campus. Walking there, Vera keeps talking non-stop, desperate to smooth out the heavy tension. "Reese, you just got back to town recently." I nod. 5 days ago. 5 days. Vera jumps right in. "Where were you all of freshman year?" The second that question drops, I notice it. Not just Vera, Serena and Ash both freeze. Listening close, I do not lie, I answer perfectly calm. "Crestholm Academy in City A." When she hears it, Ash's pupils shrink. So that is where the massive resources the Shen family used searching for 327 straight days went. But every single trace of me was wiped, like I never even existed. Now it clicks. Now she finally gets why she totally lost control yesterday. Out of nowhere, Vera blurts out, "Reese, why did you just vanish like that?" Serena grabs her arm right away, a sharp signal to stop, but Vera shakes her off. I refuse to look up. My answer drops flat. "Personal reasons." To words, and the air plunges to freezing. We hit the cafeteria doors at that exact second, and the place just detonates. The entire room explodes. Wait, is that Ash and her crew? Who is the guy with them? He is incredibly gorgeous. I heard he is Ash's childhood sweetheart. The forum posts got nuked the second they went up. Vera scans the whispering crowd, and then her eyes light up with a scheme. She grabs Serena's arm. "Serena and I will grab lunch, you to catch up." And just like that, it is just me and Ash. The silence is absolutely suffocating. Ash takes a seat. I hesitate for 1 second, then sit right next to her. A second later, Ash speaks, her voice icy and quiet. "Why did you come back? If you wanted to vanish from me entirely, why return at all?" Those words slice like broken glass. My chest tightens hard, but I keep my eyes glued away from hers. Things happened, and I needed to come back. My tone is eerily deadpan, a quick flash of hurt crosses Ash's face, then it vanishes entirely. She pulls in a slow, shaky breath. Her voice sounds rough. Either way, welcome back. After that, we both plunge back into total silence. Right on cue, Vera and Serena return with our lunch, finally breaking the strangling quiet. The four of us eat in almost complete silence. Vera tries to start a conversation a few times, but Serena shoots her down with a glare. We finally finish and walk outside before Vera bursts. "Reese, I am honestly just so glad you are back. We are exactly the same as before." A sudden warmth blooms in my chest. I let a tiny smile slip. "Thanks." Serena nods in agreement, giving my shoulder a gentle pat. "Come to us if you ever need anything." I smile softly. "I know, Serena, Serena." I say their names with total, easy warmth, and I deliberately avoid looking at Ash even once. A heavy weight sinks deep in Ash's chest. She gets nothing from me, not even a name. Serena senses the brutal mood instantly. She suggests giving me a walking tour of the grounds to shatter the suffocating tension. I do not refuse, but somehow, as we wander around, we end up standing outside the library. "Should we go inside?" Serena asks. "Sure," I reply breezily, but the absolute second we step through those doors, Serena massively regrets it. The dead silence in here is so complete you could hear a pin drop. How is this supposed to fix the terrible vibe? This is way worse. The four of us grab a table. I grab a random book and read, treating everyone sitting beside me like they are literally invisible. Watching me, the other three reluctantly pull out books too, but I barely turn 3 pages when I glance up and notice Ash is gone. I shut the book and trail after her. Vera stands to follow, but Serena jerks her back. "Do not." Serena keeps her tone quiet. "Give them some time alone. Let Ash explain herself." Vera slowly sinks back down. Outside, I spot Ash standing on the narrow stone path beside the library, but what I see stops me dead. Her back faces me, fingertips pressing hard against a wrinkled piece of paper. The aura around her is crushing and completely still. Nothing like the girl, the one who used to ruffle my hair and laugh. Now, there is only this cold loneliness to her. I slowly walk closer. My steps echo sharply in the silence. Ash whips around. Seeing me, she freezes for a split second, then she lets go of the paper. When she speaks, her voice sounds completely raw. "Why are you out here?" Stopping right in front of her, I meet her gaze. "I needed to find you." "What are you even doing outside?" She looks away, mumbling a vague excuse. "Nothing at all. I just wanted some air." One glance is all it takes to understand. I stay quiet for a while. Taking a step forward, I gently brush a dead leaf off her shoulder. We both freeze at the exact same time. Right then, I finally gather enough courage to ask her the one question buried deep inside my chest. "Why did you miss the entrance exams? Where did you even go?" Ash holds my stare for a long moment. When she finally answers, her voice is barely more than a whisper. 10 days before the big tests, my fake cousin, Shen Rian, teamed up with the family outcast, and Shen together, they sent a gang of thugs to beat me up. My pulse skyrockets the second those words leave her mouth. Staring in pure panic, I ask, "Are you okay?" The instant I say that, I want to swallow the words. She is standing right here in front of me. Obviously, she survived. Ash just shakes her head. Her tone goes soft. "My dad eventually tracked me down. After that, they were too terrified to try anything." She hesitates, then goes on. "I just had a head injury. I spent over 10 days in the hospital. That is why I missed testing, and when I finally got out, you had already left." But one thing still crushed my chest. I ask her softly, "Then explain why I had to watch you kiss Anshin on the day you disappeared." Ash furrows her brows. "So, I really did see that happen." She quickly explains, "That day, Anshin showed up with over 40 people and cornered me. She stepped close just to threaten me, warning me to back off. It was never a kiss. Right after that moment, they dragged me off, and the brutal beating began. The second those words hit me, all my lingering doubts completely vanish. But what floods in to take their place is guilt, totally crushing and overwhelming. I remember acting like a total child, throwing a tantrum and blocking every single way she could contact me. It is pathetic, honestly. My eyes tear up instantly. Without another thought, I practically throw myself into her arms. My voice completely shatters. I am so sorry, Ash. When you needed me more than anything, I abandoned you. Feeling me shake against her, something inside Ash finally cracks. She gently wraps both arms around me. Her words come out incredibly soft. You came back to me. That is all that matters today. This is my fault. I never gave you a real explanation. We stand there until I finally lift my face up. There is a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Ash, let's just ignore them. We should really get back inside. Seeing me acting like my old self, a wave of warmth washes over her. She reaches out, playfully ruffling my hair with pure affection. Okay. The moment Ash steps back into the hallway with a smile, Vera and Serena catch the vibe immediately. Vera raises an eyebrow. Everything good. Ash's grin grows wider. Obviously, just like that, all four of us walk back into the school together, like nothing ever went wrong. But the second we step right through that doorway, Zara calls out to us. Finished already? Vera fires back without even missing a single beat. Obviously, most of the desks are full, but Ash keeps her eyes totally glued to me. Her gaze is so warm, it could easily pull a person right under. I am busy texting someone back, but that intense, burning stare practically melts right through my skin. I surrender and shove my phone away. What is it? She simply replies, nothing at all. But the energy between us feels so incredibly sweet, it practically fills the whole room. Everyone is staring. Is she actually the frozen ice queen they always gossip about? The whispers start. The transfer guy is her boyfriend, right? Oh wow. Nobody thought the ice queen even had a soft side. Plus, he grew up alongside Vera and Serena. You definitely do not want to get on his bad side. But right before the afternoon bell rings, that cozy mood gets totally wrecked by a single ringing phone. It is my old buddy from Citia, Lucas. Ever since I moved away, the guy has been total radio silence. All my texts were just ignored. I rush out into the hall to answer it. On the line, Lucas tries to fake a super casual vibe. I just randomly thought about you today. Wanted to hear your voice. I can easily hear the stubborn pride hiding beneath his act and I smile. Funny enough, I was just thinking about you too. Lucas snaps back immediately. Liar. If you really were missing me, why didn't you pick up the phone? I carefully talk him down. Once he relaxes, he gets straight to it. His first sentence drops like a bomb. Reese, Dustin literally locked me inside a room for a few days. I just got out and grabbed my phone back. His very next words make my chest completely tighten up. Shay told me that Blake actually managed to hurt you. I keep my tone breezy. I am totally fine. I transferred and moved to the city. Lucas groans into the phone. Reese, living without you here. I am literally dying of boredom. I just laugh. You still have Aiden. But Lucas heavily sighs. Aiden is taking exams. They confiscated his phone again. Right at that second, an idea sparks for Lucas, and a wild plan clicks together. Wait a minute, Dustin just filed for sick leave for me, right? My mom just flew back into the country today. I'm crashing with you for a few days. He was planning to vanish completely. Once his mom realized he was gone, Dustin would be totally clueless. He wanted to shatter that guy's perfect stepfather act once and for all. I pause for a second, then smile. Sure, come on over. I'll drop my location. Lucas sounded absolutely electric. Reese, that's not even far from me. Just give me an hour. But a split second later, his tone flips entirely. Wait, you're in City C, like the actual capital, where all those elite rich families live. City C is the nation's capital, and this specific district is the beating heart of it all, home to the 8 untouchable families and for massive megacorporations. Any single bloodline here could crush the biggest names anywhere else. The richest family in the entire country, the Shen family, ruled this place. Lucas suddenly noticed something and his eyes went wide. The Moore family, ranked second nationwide in pure wealth and power, right behind the Shens. Lucas had always known I was built different. That deep, bone-level confidence isn't something you can just fake. Back at Crestholm, whenever people tried to mess with me, I froze them out with a single look. That was the exact moment Lucas knew we were cut from the same cloth. He backed me up instantly. I answer the phone. Cool and steady. Lucas, I'm at school. Just follow the pin I dropped. His mood brightens instantly. He fires right back. Is it easy to sneak onto your campus? Remembering how effortlessly Rosie slipped inside, I reply, honestly, pretty easy. Lucas gets it immediately. We used to sneak out of Crestholm all the time. He makes a quick decision. Awesome, I'll grab a cab and hop the wall to find you. Back in the classroom, I barely end the call when Ash, resting her chin on her palm, casually asks, who was that? A buddy from City A says he's sneaking in to come find me. Ash narrows her eyes. Guy or girl? Guy. Hearing that, she totally loses interest and doesn't ask anything else. The bell rings, and our homeroom teacher struts in holding a massive stack of papers. This class and the next two are purely exams. The whole room drops into dead silence instantly. Everyone bows their heads to write. An hour and a half later, Lucas finally shows up. He's rocking a sharp black casual fit, carrying himself like absolute royalty. But the second he looks up at the school gates, he gasps. This campus is easily 5 times bigger than Crestholm. The huge sign above the gates glimmers. Thornfield High. Wait, wasn't this the most legendary elite academy in the city? But that wasn't even the problem. Lucas stared up at the massive perimeter wall and just froze. This wall was easily 10 feet taller than Crestom's. He stood there, completely stunned. You actually called this easy to get into? The security guards were already eyeing him. He smoothly stepped to the side and whipped out his phone. Inside the school, the 4 of us had finished our exams early. We were just chilling outside the campus store, talking. Suddenly, my phone buzzes. I glance at the screen. Lucas. Without a second thought, I pick it up in front of all 3 of them. A second later, Lucas screams through the speaker, Dude, I'm at the gate and I'm stuck. Come grab me right now. His panicked yelling is loud enough for everyone to hear. I just laugh. Give me a minute, I'm on my way. I barely end the call, and before I can even speak, Ash stands up. I'm coming with you. 10 minutes later, at the front gates, Lucas spots me, and he immediately starts whining. You finally showed up. 5 more minutes and I would have melted out here. But a second later, his eyes shift to the girl beside me and completely lock up. Absolutely stunning, she was leagues above any girl we ever saw back at Crestholm. But that wasn't even the main issue. The real issue was, why did she look exactly like the girl from that painting he saw? Wait, no, the girl in the sketch had black hair. The girl standing right here had deep red hair. But the way she looked at me, that was identical to the painting. That intense, drowning softness. Lucas suddenly elbows my ribs. I take the hint and introduce them with a smile. This is Ash, my childhood sweetheart. Childhood sweetheart. Lucas's jaw drops. He suddenly feels like he just stumbled onto a massive secret. The one buried deep in my sketchbook. A girl in a portrait signed simply with one word. Ash. Lucas always figured I made her up. Nobody that beautiful could actually exist in real life. But what had he just heard? Ash Shen, wait a minute. Ash Shen, daughter of the richest family in the entire nation, the sole Shen heiress, the one you literally can't find a single picture of online. The ghost nobody could ever track down. Lucas takes a slow, deep breath. There wasn't a second Ash Shen at Thornfield. Which meant me, Reese, the young heir of the Moore family, blood brother to the head of the Moore group. Before Lucas processes it, I speak up. Ash, this is Lucas, my good friend from City A. Ash gives him a quick, freezing glance and drops one word. Hi. Then she looks away. Immediately, Lucas leans in close, dropping his voice to that perfect volume. Just loud enough. No wonder you never looked twice at anyone back at Crestholm. Growing up with someone like her, your heart was taken. My face flushes instantly. I shove him hard sideways. What are you even saying? But right beside me, Ash's mouth curves into a wide smile. The look she shoots Lucas is suddenly several degrees warmer. Thanks to Ash being the school board director's daughter, all 3 of us stroll right in. I guide Lucas toward the campus store, where Vera and Serena are still waiting for us. 3 top heiresses in one spot is already rare. Now add a class standout and a brand new, incredibly handsome guy to the mix. The Academy's forum completely crashes. Students flood toward the store from every possible direction just to gawk. Who are those two guys with her? Didn't you check the forum? Ash is on a whole new level, and those guys are absolutely incredible. Right then, I finally speak up. Vera, Serena. Vera reacts first, completely enthusiastic and warm. You must be Reese's buddy from City A, and Vera. Serena beside her simply looks up, totally quiet. Hi, I'm Serena. With that, Lucas clearly feels something massive click into place. Meeting two of the city's top heiresses, plus everything he knows about my family, he has zero doubts left about who I really am. The crowd around us keeps swelling. Vera jingles a key. Let's hit the 4th floor. A second later, the 5 of us head straight up to the private VIP lounge upstairs. Vera studies me with deep curiosity. Reese, how do you two know each other? I let a faint smile touch my lips. Back at Crestholm, I was getting targeted by some students. Before I can finish, Lucas cuts in. That's not what happened at all. You were the one who wanted to be my friend. Vera spots the pure honesty in his eyes and can't help but laugh out loud. But then, Ash, who had been completely silent this whole time, suddenly looks up. The second she hears I was targeted, something dark ignites behind her eyes. Pure ice cracks through her gaze. Faced with that sudden freezing drop in temperature, Vera actually dares to tease Ash and Serena for being way too quiet. Ash doesn't even lift her eyes, just one cold, sweeping glare. But when I ask her a question, her mouth curves and she answers me warmly. Even so, the heavy tension stays. Everyone's focus shifts over to Serena. She's sitting across from us, head bowed over her phone. Her brow is tight, her whole face screams she's exhausted. I ask her why, and it turns out it's the unstable 4th son of the Lang family causing trouble again. The Lang matriarch once saved Serena's mother's life. The family has been weaponizing that exact debt to force an arranged engagement ever since, leaving Serena completely hounded by a guy named Lang Fang. It's so bad she can barely attend class. Then Ash lets out a sharp, dismissive laugh and drops a devastating truth. That life-saving incident, the Lang family staged the entire thing. Before those words even settle, the lounge door violently slams open. Lang Fang struts right in, demanding to know why Serena hasn't replied to his texts. He flinches slightly upon spotting Ash, but hiding behind his fake identity as the son of a supposed savior, he stubbornly holds his ground. Then he spots Lucas and me in the room. Lang Fang instantly ignites. Pure jealousy floods through him. He jabs an angry finger at me and Lucas. I'm her fiancé. Why are you with other guys? Faced with his rabid aggression, the remaining light in Serena's eyes goes completely dead. At that critical moment, I, the guy who has been quiet and perfectly agreeable this whole time, suddenly stand up. I step straight toward Lang Fang. My pale eyes, which usually carry no edge, are now cold enough to slice glass. The air around me radically shifts. The sweet boy next door vanishes into something entirely different. A fiancé title claimed by brute force. Does that really count as righteous? Lang Fang is visibly rattled by my presence. He steps backward without even meaning to. He never saw it coming. The guy who looked most harmless in the room has something totally cold and untouchable running right through him. I tilt my chin up slightly, my eyes full of sharp contempt. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I shouldn't have to teach you that, should I? Lucas just smiles. Serena stares in shock. My quiet, agreeable persona, it was never the real thing. The person standing right here, someone who can freeze an entire room with just a single look, this is the real me. I used to stay hidden behind others, always letting Ash handle everything. 1 year in Cydia, and something deep inside me changed. Under Ash's steady gaze, she clearly has no intention of stepping in. Serena walks over, standing right beside me. She faces Lang Fang and issues an absolute order. I've told you before, I don't like you. I'll handle the engagement myself. Please don't ever come near me again. Lang Fang totally cracks. Angry tears rage behind his eyes, but he still clutches that worthless contract. So what? Feelings can easily grow after marriage. That twisted logic makes Vera physically recoil. She wraps an arm around Serena, her face dripping with pure contempt. Are you serious right now? Serena is in her first year of high school. You expect her to grow feelings after marriage? Go look in a mirror first. Do you honestly think you deserve her? That strikes exactly where it hurts most. Lang Fang, Cornered and furious, he aims his attack right at me, the most harmless-looking one here. He even has the guts to make a wild accusation. My engagement to Serena is famous in this city. Whoever you are, you better not try anything stupid. Those words barely land before the room's oxygen freezes solid. What did you just say? Ash, who had been totally relaxed, jumps to her feet in a flash, guarding my side. Her dark eyes turn pitch black. A blast of pure, violent energy pours off her, like she might actually end him in the next breath. Lang Feng, so cocky just a minute ago, stumbles backward on unsteady legs. His voice shakes. Ash just glares at him. She spits one word, leave. Lang Feng hits the wall, shivering so hard he cannot even form a sentence together. Thinking the absolute worst is over, he relaxes. But Lucas, watching this whole mess with amusement, slowly stands up. He steps over without a single word and lifts his right hand. The slap cracks hard across Lang Feng's cheek, echoing right through the entire lounge. That one strike knocks the spoiled rich kid entirely sideways. Grabbing his own face in pure shock, he screams, "Who do you think you are? You just hit me." Lucas lifts his chin, shaking off the sting in his hand, his eyes practically dripping contempt. "And who exactly are you?" Lucas grabs a tissue, wiping his fingers with total disgust. Vera looks genuinely disappointed. Too bad nobody caught that on video. It absolutely would have blown up the group chats. "Hey, take what you can get." Serena pats Vera's arm, sighing helplessly. Then Ash turns around. That deadly stare vanishes the second her eyes meet mine, softening into something impossibly warm. She just reaches out and lightly pinches my cheek. "Next time a jerk like that steps up, forget talking, just leave. And if you ever need backup, I am right here." While the group keeps joking around, Vera lets out a heavy sigh. Honestly, without Lang Bing, the whole Lang family would have crashed and burned years ago. Lang Bing. The second I hear that name, my muscles lock up tight, even with Ash right here trying to keep me grounded. Who could guess that this wild, out-of-control punk Lang Feng has a literal angel for a brother? Lang Bing, the single normal guy in that entire family, the golden child they all protect, gentle and sweet as a puppy, almost too innocent for his own good. He was my absolute best friend back in middle school, but during sophomore year, his health crashed hard and they shipped him overseas. After that, absolute silence. Hearing his name out loud, Serena shoots me this really complicated look. He is flying back to redo his second year of high school. Oh, I nod, my mind pulling up his quiet, gentle face. Then Vera says something that completely rips away that family's last shred of dignity. "If you ask me, if the Langs are so desperate to hook Serena's family, why on earth not arrange the whole marriage with Lang Bing? Why curse her with Lang Feng?" Serena just freezes for a second. An unreadable emotion flashes through her eyes. "Drop it, stop talking about that creep." Vera just waves her hands, brushing it off and breaking the tension. "Come on, let's grab food and show Lucas the city." We all walk out the school gates, heading straight to a local spot. The waitress spots Ash the second we walk inside. Her eyes go huge and she bows so deeply she practically folds in half. "Miss Ash," she says. I can tell she is shocked. Ash usually only visits with Serena and Vera. Today she has two guys tagging along, but the server is too scared to ask. Ash just hums in response, then turns to face me. Instantly, her icy attitude totally vanishes, her voice drops, going incredibly soft. "Hey Ree, check out what you want to eat." I grab the menu. Right as I finish ordering, my phone starts buzzing. It is Luna checking in. "Where are you?" "Just by the Thornfield gate," I text back with a smile, grabbing food with Ash and the crew. Meanwhile, Luna hesitates. "Did you guys not fight like a year ago? Are you okay now?" "Yeah." Luna reads my reply and does not push it. She just replies that she asked her housekeeper to prep a room for Lucas. A split second later, my phone buzzes again with a bank alert. $2 million deposited from an account ending in 957. I smile, sending a cute sticker back. Luna is seriously the absolute best. She texts back calmly, telling me to stay safe outside. I pocket my phone. Our food hits the table fast, a massive spread, and not a single plate has green onions, ginger, or garlic. Nothing that requires peeling or shelling. Either. That is just how Ash takes care of me. She even reaches across, dropping a bite into my bowl in total silence. The move is so natural it feels like pure muscle memory, and I eat it without thinking. Vera and Serena don't even blink, but Lucas, watching from the sidelines, feels this bitter jealousy bubbling up in his chest. Why does his childhood crush just insult him constantly? Meanwhile, Ash is basically spoiling me rotten. We all feast until 6:30. We barely take one step outside before Vera's phone rings. The bright smile drops from her face instantly, swapped for pure annoyance. Family stuff came up. I gotta run. Serena frowns at that. Yu Cheng again. Not many people can pull that look out of Vera. Yu Cheng is her illegitimate younger sister, a girl who has zero claim to the Yu family name, but constantly fights Vera for absolutely everything. Now that their dad is back in the country, we all know the drill. Yu Cheng is running to complain again. Vera lets out a sharp laugh, her tone completely disgusted. Yeah, going to take out the trash. Serena doesn't hesitate for a second. She steps right to Vera's side. Then let's go. We'll head out first. See you tomorrow. Vera raises an eyebrow, links arms with Serena, and they walk off. Ash and I say a quick goodbye and go our separate ways. Ash heads home. I grab Lucas, and we get into a luxury ride that would blind anyone staring directly. Under the dark sky, my blue sports car tears down the wider state road like lightning, scattering bright sparks under every street lamp. The hedges on both sides are perfectly trimmed, covered in bright flowers in full bloom. In the distance, massive elegant buildings rise up until my enormous family estate comes into view. Lucas is a rich kid from City A. He has seen real money, but when he spots this mansion, glowing in warm light like a fairy tale, his brain completely breaks. Reese, this is your house. His voice actually shakes a little bit through the window. You live in a castle. Are you some kind of escaped Disney prince? I keep my face totally blank and give a low hum to confirm it. That was it. Every wild guess Lucas had just became real. Our driver looks like a mob boss, a guy who runs in dangerous circles, yet he calls me young master with total respect. The car is literally covered in diamonds. I live in Westview Estate, a place strictly reserved for the city's absolute elite. I am the childhood sweetheart of the Shen family heir, and my last name is Moore. Besides that legendary family from this city, who else could I be? So, is anyone home? Lucas tenses up immediately. I smile and shake my head. Relax, Lucas. Mum and Dad are traveling. My sisters are all out tonight. You are staying with me. No worries. The car glides to a smooth stop right at the entrance. That same fierce driver steps out and opens my door with movements that are suddenly incredibly gentle. His voice is nothing but pure respect. Young master, please. I step out without missing a single beat. Lucas follows close behind. We both walk toward the massive gilded entrance. The doors swing open slowly, and the inside completely shatters everything Lucas thought he knew. Dozens of massive crystal chandeliers hang from the high ceiling, flooding the massive hall with light as bright as day. Priceless antiques line every single surface without a single speck of dust. Several maids move quietly through the room. The second they spot me, they stop and greet me with warm, perfect smiles. A butler in a sharp tailored suit steps right forward, bowing slightly. Welcome home, young master. Then he looks over at Lucas. And this is my friend. His last name is Lu. Young master Lu, welcome. The butler dips his head with perfect manners. Then the head housekeeper walks over as well, smiling warmly at us. Young master, Miss Arya and Luna are both out tonight. I'm not surprised. That's fine, thank you. The butler bows again. Young master, please rest. Dinner will be ready shortly. He steps away quietly. I pull Lucas down onto the sofa and grab some fruit from the table. With nobody else around, Lucas's inner gossip completely takes over. Okay, spill. Are you and Ash engaged or not? What are you talking about? I freeze mid-reach, my voice pitching up. We're still young. It hasn't gone that far. Our families did arrange something when we were little, but I say quietly, we're just from the same circle. Childhood sweethearts, nothing more. The maids standing nearby overhear this and quietly look down, hiding massive grins. They had watched things fall apart between Ash and me. Him transferring schools, even my sister barely coming home. But hearing this now, they know we made up. which means their absolute favorite couple is back to being sweet again. I was just asking, Lucas says, fighting a huge grin. No need to panic, big shot. He drops the joke and changes gears, his voice full of real envy. Reese, you are the only heir in the Moore family and you have two older sisters, spoiling you rotten. That is the dream. I hold up one finger and shake it slowly. Not 2, 3, what? Lucas stares at me, completely blank. 3. The Moore family only has Ariane and Luna, right? There's one more, I smile, playing up the mystery. I have a twin sister. Lucas's brain practically short circuits. That's why Luna is always called the second daughter, never the third. So, there is another twin. Do you two look exactly alike? Lucas almost jumps right off the sofa. Pretty close, I nod. I'm so jealous. I want 3 sisters. Lucas makes a noise that sounds exactly like a shriek. We keep talking about random things, and then Lucas sighs suddenly. Reese, without you at Crystal, my entire high school experience is going to be incredibly boring. I do not respond directly. Instead, I quietly mention, you still have Phoenix and Shayu. Hearing Shayu's name, Lucas perks up. Oh, right, a few days ago, the Fu family got dropped from the 4 elite families. The whole ranking just reshuffled? I smile at that. Shayu was always too gentle, too easy to push around. But with the Lee family taking the spot as sole heir of that generation, he will finally have solid ground beneath him. We keep talking for a good while longer. Lucas checks the clock, a sharp glare flickering in his eyes. My mom should be back in the country by now, turning everything upside down looking for me. He laughs coldly, shaking his powered-off phone. I want her to see exactly what her wonderful husband is doing behind her back. Cozy inside the room, our chat drifts naturally toward people in our social circles. Your childhood sweetheart transferred from her school to Crystal, probably turning the world upside down hunting for you two. I drop it casually. The second Lucas hears her name, his cheeks puff out like a pufferfish. Do not bring her up. Both families go way back, and those two grew up attached at the hip, but unlike Ash and me, nothing was sweet about them. Absolute disasters. Breaking vases as kids while blaming each other, stepping on each other's shadows on purpose, claiming it kept you cute and short. Whenever someone sent a love letter, their first instinct was never helping out, but rather to snatch it and read it aloud, letting the other die of embarrassment. Before big exams, they sabotaged each other. I did not study at all. Then one placed first, the other second, a total disaster pair. All right, fine. I will not bring her up. I smile. How long are you staying? 2 days. After chatting, the butler summons us for dinner, and afterward we head to our rooms to rest. Meanwhile, across the city, a whole different drama is about to unfold. There is an open secret at this elite academy. If you see anyone wearing a necklace engraved with the letter W, never mess with them. I happen to wear that exact necklace. Right now, though, Vera has just walked through the U family gates with Serena. The butler smiles warmly at these two sharp, confident girls and greets them respectfully. But the real drama unfolds in the living room. Head of the household, Marcus Yu, is already waiting by the door, expression dark. But the instant his eyes land on Vera, every shadow vanishes from his face, replaced by pure warmth. There she is. Serena is here too. Have you eaten? Both Vera and Serena confirm they have. Marcus nods with satisfaction and cuts straight to the point. Turns out Yu Chen actually got hurt and is lying in her room groaning. Vera's stepmother is losing her mind, demanding answers. Vera simply raises one lazy eyebrow and replies with total innocence, Dad, I was glued to Serena all day. When would I have had time to organize something like that? Serena instantly nods in confirmation, with the Gu family's eldest daughter vouching for her. Plus Marcus's obvious favoritism, he simply waves a hand and closes the case on the spot. Good, Dad believes you, right then? Urgent footsteps pound down the staircase. A woman in expensive clothes with exhausted, hollow eyes rushes down. Her eyes are red and swollen as she glares at Vera. I know you cannot stand Yu Cheng, but next time, could you not go after her life? If anything happens to her, I do not want to live either. But Marcus offers no comfort at all. Instead, his brow snaps down, and he cuts her off sharply. Did you not hear Vera say it was not her, go ask, the troublemaker of yours, who she managed to offend? First day back home, and she is already causing problems. Unbelievable. In his eyes, Yu Chang, who had an accident the day she arrived, is a trouble magnet. Meanwhile, Vera, quietly attending class, is his treasure. The stepmother goes pale under his verbal lashing, her knuckles turning white. She does not dare go at her husband, so she pivots to Serena with a forced smile. Serena, this is a family matter, you should probably head home. Before Serena can even speak, Vera steps forward, placing herself between them, her voice cuts like a knife. Is your memory failing you? Serena grew up in this house. She was never an outsider here. Then Vera slaps her face hard, the strike knocks away every trace of that forced smile. The hatred behind her eyes explodes. She screams, then you owe Yu Chang an explanation, an explanation. Vera reacts like she just heard the funniest joke ever. She tilts her chin up with total arrogance. TSK, TSK, TSK. Since you are so convinced it was me, why do I not hire someone to actually finish the job and send a coffin as my explanation? The moment those words drop, every servant in the room starts trembling, every head wishing it could sink straight into the floor. The stepmother shakes with rage, turning to her husband. Honey, how can you are going to let her speak to me like that? But Marcus just waves it off, totally unfazed. Look, Vera said she didn't do it. That was just a joke, and you backed her into a corner. No idea where she got that dark humor, though. Vera catches the perfect opening and runs with it, flashing a wicked grin. Exactly, just a joke, Auntie. Why can't you take one? The stepmother practically chokes on her own rage, left to just glare at them both through tightly gritted teeth. Marcus senses the tension snapping. He offers a weak warning to dial it back, then just waves everyone away, totally drained. All right, Vera, Serena, it is getting late. Head upstairs and get some rest, Serena. Spend the night. The girls agree and head for the stairs. But right at the bottom step, Vera slows down. She turns back lazily, staring down at the fuming woman with a glint in her eye that makes the blood run cold. You really should keep better watch over your precious daughter. Be a real shame if she actually got hit next time. Before the threat fully lands, Vera sighs with heavy, fake regret, her voice absolutely dripping with contempt. Trust me, if I set that up, I would make sure there was nothing left to bury. Really is a shame whoever did it went so soft. Boom. The words strike like lightning. The stepmother completely loses her mind, screaming up at Vera as she walks away. Vera, get back down here. Someone drag her down. She snaps at the staff nearby, but faced with a totally hysterical order, the servants just calmly lower their heads. Ma'am, the young miss is resting. I am afraid that would not be appropriate. The stepmother's face turns stormy grey. She glares at the maid with pure venom, but she is completely out of moves. To make matters worse, Marcus steps up and drives in the final blade. Come on, we just established she was joking. Why are you acting like this? Now you want to forcibly drag her out of bed. Vera was always such a timid kid. What if you traumatize her? The stepmother is visibly shaking now, jabbing a finger right in her husband's face. You are so unbelievably biased. If Yu Chang said something like that, you would have punished her instantly. Did you forget your promise to treat her like your own daughter? Enough, Marcus finally snaps, deep disappointment written all over his face. You think I am biased? Vera was out having a perfectly normal day. You dragged her home, and before she can even get a drink of water, you blame her for everything. And you, did you even bother to look into it before pointing fingers? He rubs his temples, totally exhausted, and lays it all out. If I do not back Vera, who will? Yu Chang is your flesh and blood, but how does she even compare to Vera? This family legacy belongs to Vera. Is it a crime that I favor her? Every single word hits the stepmother like a physical slap across the face. Then Marcus drops the ultimate verdict. Sleep in the guest room for the next few days. Keep out of my bedroom. He marches upstairs without even a backward glance. Vera instantly throws an arm around Serena, her eyes gleaming with pure provocation. Hey Serena, look, some people are getting banished straight to the guest room. And she actually had the nerve to call you an outsider. Serena tilts her head, flashing a gentle smile. Exactly right. The two girls play off each other absolutely perfectly. The maids standing nearby are biting down so hard on their laughter that their faces are turning red. The stepmother is left standing there all alone, fingernails practically drawing blood from her own palms, boiling with rage, yet totally powerless. Back in her bedroom, Vera flops onto the mattress and angrily kicks the blankets in pure frustration. No matter how many arguments she wins, getting falsely accused always feels absolutely revolting. Then the bedroom door clicks open. Serena walks in wearing dark pajamas, taking a seat on the edge of the bed. Her voice is smooth as glass. "Knew you would be up. Came to check on you." Vera rolls over right away, blinking with wide, innocent eyes. "Serena, do you think I pushed it too far?" Serena laughs softly, smoothing down Vera's ruffled blankets. "You simply told the truth. Karma always catches up. That is not your fault." After coaxing Vera to sleep and quietly shutting the bedroom door behind her, the gentle warmth in Serena's eyes vanishes instantly. What replaces it is something freezing and calculating. Since the stepmother is so hellbent on blaming Vera, once that illegitimate daughter heals up, Serena will gladly make sure the crime actually fits the punishment. The next morning at Thornfield High, I walk into homeroom right as the first bell rings. The desk beside mine is totally empty. The chatter of class arises and falls in loud waves all around me. I prop my textbook up to hide my face and secretly slide out my phone. I open up the group chat labeled Ash and start typing fast. "Ash, when are you getting here?" 2 whole minutes drag by before a text bubbles up. "Reese, something major came up at home. I should be there around noon." The Shen family drama strikes again. I do not even have to guess. As one of the most powerful dynasties in the country, the brutal power struggles inside that family make reality television look tame. Being the only heir to the family head, Ash has always been a walking bullseye for every greedy relative gunning for that massive inheritance. The stunts they pull behind closed doors are honestly sickening to watch. I shoot back a quick heart sticker, a flash of genuine whirring crossing my face. Suddenly, my phone screen explodes with an incoming video. The phone rings, showing just 2 words on screen. "Twin sis." My eyes light up instantly, and without telling anyone, I slip out the back exit like a shot. Class falls dead silent while our class monitor rubs their eyes, pretending they saw nothing. In the back, jaws drop everywhere. After all, the top student just ditched class. Vera freezes mid-sentence, while Serena stands right beside her, looking totally lost. I guess that is the perk of being number one. I duck into an empty stairwell and finally hit accept. The screen flares to life, showing a strikingly gorgeous face. Dark red shirt, porcelain pale skin, and a distinct teardrop mole by her right eye that completely locks your attention. Plus, those ice blue eyes look like frozen glaciers holding 10,000 years of cold. But seeing me, they melt into pure warmth. Meet my twin sister, a 15-year-old genius leading a global corporation from abroad. Reese. Her soft voice feels like warm jade, pouring pure affection through the screen. I instantly turn into a needy kid, collapsing onto a nearby bench. I pout, telling her how much I miss her. Even though we share identical DNA, our paths diverged early. At just 3 years old, she was labeled a once-in-a-century prodigy, shipped overseas to take over the family empire. Now at 15, she is tackling a joint master's and doctorate degree. "I miss you too," she says, checking her watch. It is midnight over there, but exhaustion fades just to see her brother across the ocean. I happily catch her up on everything, excitedly mentioning Ash. Hearing that name causes a fleeting flicker in her eyes too fast to fully catch. They have never met, yet she remembers Ash clearly as the one who drove her brother to tears all night long. Though I reassure her we made up, Ash is already marked on her hit list, despite her calm smile. "As long as you are happy, Reese, when are you coming home? I miss you terribly." I gaze at her, buzzing with anticipation. Noticing my excitement, she drops a major bombshell. "Once this current project wraps up, I am coming back for 2nd year." Yes, I nearly leap off the bench. That is only months away. Right after we disconnect, the morning bell chimes on schedule. I am still chilling on a freshman courtyard bench, totally oblivious that I have drawn everyone's eyes. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Who is this freshman walking around with dyed hair? Who does he think he is? I tune out all the chatter until a tall shadow blocks the light. Looking up instinctively, my eyes narrow slightly. Dressed entirely in black, sporting a sharp wolf-tail haircut, tall and sleek with insanely sharp features, This newcomer is his dangerous charm, particularly with those striking peach blossom eyes tilted upward, playful yet edgy. A smirk forms, and a voice like cool clear water speaks with playful mischief. Hey there, why is a cute little thing sitting here alone? An eerie silence falls over the entire yard. Then, deafening screams shatter the quiet. Wow, gorgeous, who is that? I am changing my favorite. Why hit on the new transfer kid? Unfair. Recognizing those signature playful eyes, I chuckle and stand up directly. Flynn, raising an eyebrow, he slings an arm over my shoulder, lowering his voice into a sultry purr. Reese, a single day apart feels like centuries. Grinning, I grab his hand and tug him along. Come on, let us talk somewhere else. Taking 2 steps, Flynn spins around, flashing a killer grin at the stunned crowd, those captivating eyes sparking like live voltage, instantly melting half the onlookers. Ignoring the panic, we walk off toward the front gates. The security guard glances at me and simply waves us through. Once outside, Flynn drops back into his normal voice. Skipping class already, I shrug carelessly. I am not going back today anyway. It makes zero difference, Flynn chuckles. True, Lucas said you ditched daily back in Cydia while keeping top grades regardless. Pausing after a few strides, Flynn groans about the heat and yanks off his black wig. Reese, what a waste you did not pick Maplewood. Sighing, he runs fingers through his real hair. I smile softly, admitting I would have chosen Maplewood in a heartbeat had I known Ash was enrolled at Thornfield. Hearing her name, Flynn grimaces, mentioning he saw our joint application. Years ago, Flynn, Ash, and I grew up as a trio. Flynn just liked hanging around me, but Ash acted like a fiercely protective pup, glaring at him with pure venom every single time. Balance only returned once Vera and Serena joined our circle. Yeah, we patched things up, I nod. Flynn rolls his eyes. When you disappeared, Ash went entirely wild searching everywhere for you, but I refused to leak a single word. He never approved of Ash's intense nature, always finding her far too possessive and overbearing, but he has to admit, when it involves me, she never gives him a reason to complain. Fine, as long as you're happy. Flynn snaps his fingers. Since you're skipping class anyway, let me show you Maplewood. Sure. We pivot and walk straight into the Maplewood campus next door. The security guards know Flynn like family. They sign us in and wave us right on through. The second our feet hit the campus, the whole energy shifts. Compared to the strict Thornfield vibe, Maplewood is total chaos. Everywhere you look, bright neon hair colors. These wealthy kids, maybe just to annoy Thornfield, act as wild as they please. As long as their grades stay high, the teachers just ignore it. Right then, a loud yell cuts through the air. Flynn. Some guy sprints across the field with 2 others trailing him. The sudden chaos grabs everyone's attention instantly. People see who just showed up, and the whole field goes crazy. Before a single word drops, Flynn is already grinning, facing the new group with total confidence. He introduces me like he owns the entire school. Meet my good friend, Reese. The second he says it, 3 girls with totally different vibes push their way forward. My gaze stops on one of them for a second. Before I even speak, she squints hard. Have we met somewhere before? That snaps me back. 2 days ago, Rosie dragged me shopping. We bumped into the N family's illegitimate son and watched his girlfriend dump him right there in public. The one he kept calling babe. That's her. The exact same realization hits her too. She points a finger at me. You were the guy with Rosie that afternoon. A guy beside her gets wide-eyed like a light bulb just turned on. How do you know Rosie? I answer him calmly. She's my cousin. One long second of silence. The Song family has 0 relatives with that last name. Right then, Flynn smirks. He drops the heavy truth flat out for everyone. Let me formally introduce the legendary Moore family heir, who's also the Song family cousin. No way. The elite heir everyone whispers about, but nobody's ever seen. He's actually real. Before the crowd can process that massive bombshell, Rosie is suddenly dragging me into their classroom. The absolute second my foot crosses the door, the entire room erupts. Dozens of students snap their heads up to stare. Whispers break out everywhere. Who is that guy? Why is he standing with Rosie? Is he even high school age? A girl with 0 sense of danger waves at us cheerfully. Hey Rosie, can I hang out with your cute little brother? The girl beside her turns pale and grabs her arm fast. Are you actually trying to die? The classroom falls completely silent. Rosie smiles a little, but her gaze is pure ice. If you're not terrified of what I might do, then sure. That girl instantly feels a chill hit her spine. She takes it back fast, just joking around. I love studying. Rosie walks me all the way to the back row. That's Luna's desk. I drop into the Forbidden's empty chair right beside it. Rosie mumbles a few things and steps out into the hall. The second she leaves, the intense hostility starts. A guy with pale green hair watches her leave and instantly starts running his mouth. Luna hates having anyone sit next to her. You seriously shouldn't be sitting in that chair. The whole room hushes to watch the drama. Green hair glares at me like an enemy. I honestly don't care. I pull out my phone in total silence. Then a few more students walk inside. Jojo spots me right away and her face lights up. You're here too. Albin and Iris follow close behind her. Their happy voices layering over one another, each greeting way warmer than the last. Hey there, little bro. I smile and greet them back. How'd you end up visiting Maplewood? Rosie strolls back and casually answers for me. He came to hang out with me. The entire class is shocked. The guy waiting for a fight goes totally stiff. Every single person in Luna's crew is obsessed with this random kid. Jojo leans in and whispers quietly, Luna's actually coming to school today. She be here soon. I just nod obediently. Right then, Rosie dumps a massive bag of junk food right onto Luna's desk. Reese, I got you snacks. The other students freeze again. Rosie, the girl who's known for running ice cold, is being this sweet to him. Then it finally clicks for everyone in the room. This kid is the shared little brother of both powerful families. The bell rings loudly. Luna steps through the doorway right on time. The room drops into dead silence. Those icy pale eyes, looking exactly like mine, carrying a heavy, refined intensity. Match that with her striking blue and white hair. Even after 2 years, nobody gets tired of staring at her. But looking closer, they realize Luna and I actually share quite a few distinct features, especially around our eyes. While everyone's still guessing, Luna sweeps the room and locks onto me in 1 second flat. She walks straight over to her desk and sits down. I'm happily drinking my milk, and when our eyes meet, I smile warmly. Luna, half the class practically turns to stone. The green-haired guy's face completely freezes up. Luna doesn't even glance at anyone else. She just reaches over and messes up my hair like it's the most normal thing in the world. Why are you hanging out here? I answer her obediently. Flynn brought me over, then I found Rosie and ended up right here. Luna nods slowly. The teacher walks inside, spots me sitting there as an extra student, and somehow says absolutely nothing. Class just begins. I play on my phone for the entire first class flies by. By period 2, I'm finally bored enough to put it down. I just stare at Luna studying. She's working through a practice test, but notices right away. Setting her pen down, she tilts her head bored. I slump down. I press against the desk, nodding like a good kid. Luna casually pulls out an advanced workbook and slides it over. Senior year level work. Give this a shot. I grab the pen and begin. Meanwhile, back at the Shen family estate, tension fills the room. Over a dozen relatives stand packed inside the living room, dead silent. It's the calm before the storm, well, for almost everyone. Ash lounges by herself on the couch checking her phone, fingers flying across the screen. Her father told her this morning to stay until noon. She hated losing time with me, but she stayed anyway. She barely stepped downstairs before walking into this mess. Out of polite courtesy, she's forced to sit here like a prop. Ash lazily looks up, eyes skimming past her dad across the living room before scanning everyone else. Somebody here is obviously pissed about something. She glances back at her screen finally. Someone snaps. A sharp voice shatters the heavy silence. It's Shen Yun, pointing a finger at Ash, trembling with rage. Bing is lying in a hospital room right now, and you're sitting here playing phone games? Ash finishes her text without any hurry, then slowly glances up. Her cold eyes show zero emotion, just pure disdain. I'm not a doctor. What am I supposed to do about Bing being hospitalized? If you care so much, why aren't you there with him? Why are you in my house? Shen Yun's face turns dark instantly, teeth grinding as her lips quiver with fury. Her eyes burn with hate. Yun, enough. A calm female voice breaks the tension. It's Shen Yun's stepmother. Since an elder spoke, Shen Yun bites her tongue, choking down the rage building inside her. Right at this tense moment, an oddly casual voice speaks up. A younger girl, Shen Yuju, exhausted from standing around, sneaks up to her older brother and whispers, "When can we go back to sleep? My legs are killing me." He gets it right away, patting her head gently. "Just hold on a little longer." Moments later, Shen Heng checks his phone and trades a sharp look with his son. Shen Yun, a sign of life being, is awake. Hearing that, the head of the house, Shen Su, breaks his silence. "All right, let's head to the hospital." Hearing the family head speak, the crowd finally stirs. Over at the hospital, outside the private room, the entire family arrives in force, but the door stays shut. Shen Heng frowns, his tone dripping with annoyance. "Didn't you say he was awake?" Someone quickly steps in to calm him down. "Just give it a second." Soon, the door opens, and Shen Yun rushes inside instantly. Everyone follows. Only Ash hangs back, leaning against the doorway as she stops a passing nurse with a quiet question. "How did he end up in here?" The nurse looks away awkwardly. "Car accident." Ash raises an eyebrow and walks toward the bed. Shen Bing is sitting up, his face pale as paper, nasty scrapes along his cheek, arms and legs trapped in heavy casts, and his head wrapped up like a giant bandage. Ash takes in the scene emotionlessly, though suspicions keep piling up in her mind by the second. Then her eyes turn ice cold. Next to the bed, Chong Sikong is weeping in her usual, dramatized way. "Bing, stop writing, please." Shen Bing offers a weak comfort. "Mom, I'm okay." The crowd presses in with fake concern. It's almost heartwarming. Then Shen Bing catches sight of Ash, remembering what his father instructed earlier. He calls out faintly, "Ash," but Ash doesn't buy it, answering cold and flat, "We aren't close." Heavy silence. Shen Bing's face stays blank as he sighs. It really was just an accident. Right on cue, Shen Heng, who was waiting for this exact opening, strikes right back. "Ash, Bing is extending an olive branch here. What kind of attitude is that?" Shen Bing plays along, coughing weakly. "Dad, don't be hard on Ash, I was just careless." Shen Yun glares directly at Ash and drops the mask, voice sharp and aggressive. "The driver who ran into Bing won't talk or name who hired him. Seeing how calm you are, it's almost like you knew beforehand. Maybe you were the mastermind behind it." Hit with the accusation, Ash chuckles softly, short and freezing cold. Her tone is irritatingly calm. "No proof. Don't throw blind accusations." Shen Yun practically stamps her foot in rage. "If it wasn't you, why act so unbothered?" Ash responds with total mock innocence. "I was never close with him anyway. Why shouldn't I stay calm?" Shen Su finally intervenes, shutting Shen Yun down with an icy stare. But Shen Yun's eyes are already bloodshot. Ignoring the head of the household, she jabs a finger toward Ash. "Don't think I'm blind. Ever since grandfather handed control over to your dad, you've been targeting every single one of us." Ash's smirk turns totally. She sneers. "That is hilarious. My dad owns that spot. Why would I ever waste time resenting you? The strongest leads. If you fall short, who else can you blame?" Over in the corner, another girl who knows exactly what getting sidelined feels like watches with wide, thrilled eyes. "Oh, the drama is starting." Another girl right beside her tries to chime in, but her brother immediately claps a hand over her mouth. "Quiet. Do not speak." He knows exactly how ruthless Shen Heng and his family are. No way is his sister becoming collateral damage. Then the fourth uncle finally steps up to cool the room down. "Enough. Our top priority is finding whoever did this." Ash is laughing coldly to herself. Whoever did this? As far as she cares, Shen Heng and his son staged this whole stunt from the start. Shen Bing opens his mouth again, totally committed to the act. "Ash, I am genuinely glad you visited." He even manages a brave little smile. Ash feels nauseous. This family is a piece of work. Shen Heng, seizing his moment, locks his dark eyes onto Ash. "Bing is speaking to you." Ash hits absolute zero indifference. Suddenly Shen Su erupts, stepping right in front of Ash like a shield. "Stand down." He glares straight at Shen Heng. "Do not think I missed your little behind-the-scenes operations. I let it slide out of family loyalty." He scans the tense room. Ash came here in good faith to visit Shen Bing, and you try dragging her through the mud. Shen Heng scoffs coldly. The rage inside him just keeps burning. If it were not for this brother, the entire Shen family empire would already be his. Right as they hit a breaking point, a sharp phone chime cuts through the heavy air. Shen Heng checks his screen. His pupils contract. A weird look flashes across his eyes. He slowly looks up. His voice drops low. An update from the cops. That driver who hit Shen Bing, brain bleed, died right on the scene. But that is not even the craziest part. What really grabs Shen Heng is a second name on the report. Yu Cheng. She was hit by the exact same car. At the name Yu Cheng, Ash lightly raises an eyebrow. Okay, now things are getting interesting. Shen Yong frowns, face tight with alarm. How did he die? He whips his head toward the bed. Bing, were you hanging around Yu Cheng again today? Shen Bing sips the water his mum holds out, not looking sorry at all. Yes. Cheng Saiking hears this and her face goes dark. I warned you to stop messing around with that outsider. She is nothing but trouble. Shen Bing just shrugs it off. I know. Cheng Saiking smiles gently. Mom would never steer you wrong. Ash watches this whole tender mother and son act with absolutely zero interest. She checks the time, fully done playing along. She looks right at her dad. Dad, I am leaving. Shen Su plays his part perfectly. He turns to the group. We are heading out. Work stuff came up. Shen Heng, totally distracted by the dead witness problem, barely even nods. The elevator doors slide shut. Ash's dad drops his tough guy act in a split second. His inner gossip totally takes over. Ash, how are things going with Reese? Shen Su watched me grow up. When I went missing a while back, both our families completely panicked. It was not until a few days ago that he, as head of the school board, got my transfer paperwork and immediately shoved me right into class, right next to his own daughter. Ash looks up, eyes razor sharp. You know, Shen Su just grins. I run the school board. How could I miss it? Why did you not tell me? Ash's voice turns ice cold. Shen Su does not flinch. He jumps right into teasing mode. Reese left because he was upset. And obviously, you are the one who made him mad. What? Still have not made up? Man, that is pathetic. He claps Ash on the shoulder, offering his absolute best piece of advice. Head back to class and win him back. If you wait around, some other girl is going to steal him. At that, Ash turns slightly, and the faint smirk on her face is totally unreadable. You better focus on fixing things with Mom first. She is actually still sulking. Booked a whole overseas vacation just to get away from you. That hits a nerve. Shen Su lets out a heavy sigh. Can you not put in a good word for me? Ding. The elevator doors slide open. Ash steps out. Wait, who kept bragging about having Mom completely wrapped around his little finger? If you have her so under control, why do you need me to say anything at all? Shen Su has zero comeback for that. Suddenly Ash's phone lights up. The second she sees the name, her eyes completely soften. Reese just messaged me, she calls out, walking away and leaving her deeply wounded dad behind, thumbs already typing back. Meanwhile, over in Maplewood's class, I barely step out before the whole room completely erupts. The Song family does not even have a son. Did the Moore family not send someone overseas? The gossip builds until a freezing voice cuts straight through the chaos. Shut up. Rosie glares up, her eyes full of absolute ice. That was Luna's actual blood brother and my only little brother. If I catch anyone spreading trash rumors, do not expect either of our families to show you an ounce of mercy. The crowd shakes with fear, instantly swearing on their lives. We would never. We are too busy studying to gossip. Luna drops me at Thornfield's gate, fades away. By the time I get back to class is starting, and the homeroom teacher waves me in. Come on. Dozens of eyes lock onto me. I have no idea why, so I tiptoe toward my seat and reach for the chair, when a long-fingered hand beats me to it, pulling it out just enough. I slide in as Ash tilts her head, her voice barely above a whisper. Where did you go? I whisper back, Maplewood. Went to find Luna. Ash props her chin in one hand and nods as if that makes complete sense. Up front, the homeroom teacher is practically glowing as he brandishes a stack of papers. Yesterday's language exam is graded, and this test was college entrance level. Barely anyone across the entire grade broke 140. He pauses, his eyes locking precisely onto a corner of the room, voice trembling with barely contained pride. But two students in our class scored 146, tied for first in the grade. The class barely processes the news before whispers erupt, applause breaks out, and everyone starts craning their necks. Has to be Ash, obviously. Her language score never drops below 140. Who is the other one? Elliot is consistent, but he has never broken 140 either. The teacher doesn't drag it out, picking up the first paper. Pride is impossible to hide. Ash, 146, still first. The room erupts in applause, full of admiration. Of course it's Ash. Keeping a score like that at this difficulty is incredible. But who is the other top scorer? Is it Elliot? Elliot, hearing his name, shakes his head instantly. No chance, my absolute ceiling was 137. While everyone is still guessing, the teacher grabs the second test and drops a bomb. Reese also scored 146. Just transferred and already keeping up at this level. Remarkable. Boom. The classroom detonates. Nobody can believe what they just heard. He barely arrived and pulled off near perfection. Tied with Ash for first. That's insane. These seatmates are something else. Before I even sit up straight, Ash reaches over and grabs both papers. Both spotless. Not a single red mark anywhere. She slides my test back to me, her eyes warm with silent pride, a praise that needs no words. Vera leans back in her chair behind us. Ash, did you plan to get the exact same score? Ash doesn't even turn around. If you spent more time doing practice problems, you wouldn't be stuck around 130 practice problems. Vera's eyes widen, as if she just heard something absurd. I barely have enough time to have fun. What practice problems? Watching Ash's effortless genius act, Vera gives a frustrated huff. We both balance studying and play. How are you so far ahead? I got 130. Serena, hiding a smile, reaches over and pats Vera lightly on the head. It's fine, our Vera has a fortune to inherit. Up front, the teacher is definitely not finished praising this legendary desk pair. His voice sounds even more excited than before, and it isn't just their total scores. Their patriotic essays were chosen as the top model for the whole grade. Both lost only 2 points. Ash catches the teacher's drift instantly. In a rare good mood, she passes both tests straight to Elliot. Elliot thanks her and turns. Before he can even look, classmates crowd in from every direction. Class president strikes again. You got both legendary exams. Let me pay my respects. An essay that only lost 2 points. That's basically a perfect model. While our side is buzzing, Vera sighs on the other side and drops her 131 paper onto her desk, jabbing a finger at the essay. Completely done with life, you two are genuinely ruthless. One writes about national duty, one writes about everyday warmth, and I write about a soccer game and lose points. She shakes her head, sounding thoroughly sour. If only I'd paid more attention back when we were kids. Serena walks over and glances at her test. You didn't fail to learn. You were just too busy copying me. Vera laughs despite herself. In 3rd grade, I wrote that I wanted to code and protect network security, and you changed yours to becoming a soccer player and protecting the order of the field. The teacher read it out loud in front of everyone, and the whole class laughed for half the period. I was little. Okay. Vera panics and immediately changes the subject, turning to me. Your essay mentioned your grandmother. I just remembered visiting her when we were kids. Her jujube porridge was so sweet, that memory seems to spark something else. Listening to Vera, my eyes light up and I turn to Ash. I remember back then Ash scraped her knee badly, but she gritted through the pain and insisted on giving me the fresh jujube she was holding, then went home and got severely scolded by her grandfather for it. Ash reaches up and gently brushes my hair with her palm, her voice full of fond exasperation. Someone kept complaining the dates weren't sweet enough. I couldn't just let you wait for nothing. At those words, my face turns warm. I was 7 years old back then, believing a rumor that dates picked early was sweeter and anything picked later would taste like nothing. But my grandmother liked the quiet, and the housekeeper was busy. I whined about the dates losing their sweetness. Ash, who could never stand to see me upset, climbed that tree barehanded without a single second thought. Serena leans against the desk, casually dropping the final detail. And I was the one patching up Ash later. Meanwhile, Vera was mocking your tears, making Ash chase her across the entire courtyard. Wait, why is this about me? Vera panics and shoves Serena. You have some nerve. Remember swearing you would be a massive cybersecurity expert and protect the whole country. The first time you used a laptop, you scrambled every single icon. I ended up fixing the entire thing for you. Ancient history again. I can't help but laugh. Serena turned bright tomato red that day and insisted it was the very first step in digital disguise. We laughed for days. Seeing those two ready to bicker again, Ash stands up, stepping right between them with two flat words. Let us eat. The four of us settled down, standing to leave. Meanwhile, back over at the hospital ward, the entire Shen family had cleared out, leaving only Shen Heng and his branch. Shen Bing slumps lazily against the hospital headboard playing games. His mother Chong Si King looks over, totally concerned. Bing, is there anything you want to eat? Not hungry. She turns toward Shen Yun sitting nearby. Yun, what about you? He refuses to look up from his phone, not hungry either. Just then, Shen Heng finished the call, entering and walking straight over to Shen Yun. Come back with me, Chen Ziaching is here. Stop wasting time, study company management. She drops her voice, whispering a quiet warning to Shen Bing. Do not go to that thing, stay away from your friends. They will drag you into serious trouble. Shen Yun just nods silently. Fine. Shen Heng pulls him from the ward, finding a quiet spot. The stern facade drops instantly, replaced by something much darker. I cleaned everything up regarding this whole Shen Bing situation. We were careless this time. Ash was the original target, but somehow the plan got tangled up with the Yu family. We never intended to hit our own son. Fortunately, all the fake evidence points toward the drunk driver who died at the scene. Nothing leaked. Shen Yun lets out a cold sound. Ash has probably already figured the whole thing out. If not for Ash, the Shen family heir would be us. By basic rights of birth order, the family belongs to Shen Heng, but the second uncle stole the seat by force. Thinking about it now, Shen Yun's pupils contract sharply. His cultivated exterior completely collapses into something vicious. Shen Heng pats his shoulder. Do not rush it, Yun. Everything in this family is going to be ours eventually. She shifts her tone, bringing up old history. Tomorrow is your mother's memorial. I will take you to visit her. Shen Yun is completely used to nodding without a word. While those two kept scheming, my group was just stepping out of the restaurant on the other side of town. I looked up straight into two very familiar faces. A girl named Shen Siqian lets out a soft gasp, tugging the sleeve of the older woman beside her. The woman looks up, meeting Ash's gaze head-on. Ash out eating. Ash keeps her expression completely neutral as she glances over both of them. Then, like it is absolutely nothing, she casually asks how Shen Bing is doing. At that, Cheng Si-ching keeps her frozen smile perfectly in place. Much better, she nudges Shen Si-qian, who dutifully greets everyone. Then her eyes flick right over to me. A quick flash of surprise gets replaced immediately with a sweet smile. Reese, when did you get back? Seeing that totally fake smile, I put on my best practiced one in return. Shen Si-qian attempts sweet and innocent, but Ash cannot even be bothered with the hollow pleasantries. She refuses to engage at all. She just says flatly that we are heading back to school. She turns and walks away, not a single extra word given to either of them. Once they have completely vanished from our view, Vera finally speaks up. Ash, I heard that woman's daughter got hit in the exact same accident as you, Cheng. Ash just scoffs, her eyes full of utter contempt, still in the hospital. Then Serena suddenly remembers something massive. Yu Cheng's mother suspected Ash. Vera is about to push back hard, but Ash just waves a lazy hand. Do not bother. Shen Heng's family is the one pointing fingers at me. Vera explodes immediately, jabbing her hand in the direction Cheng Shiking had just walked off. What right do they have? Shen Bing goes out causing trouble on her own, and when things go wrong, she dumps all the blame on you. Absolutely shameless. Serena grabs Vera's arm, speaking in a lowered voice, thinking it through. Shen Heng is completely cornered. That accident cost him half his deal with the Yu family. He needs to find someone to take the fall. At that, a cold smile pulls at my mouth. I doubt this was an accident at all. Who would dare make a move this incredibly bold unless it was a total inside job? Ash turns to me, the ice in her eyes melting slightly, but her voice remains chilling. Exactly, the driver dies right there. Identity completely fabricated, no record of them anywhere. This whole thing was a flawlessly clean setup from the very start. Vera is totally unsettled now, about to speak, but Ash shuts the entire topic down with total ease. My dad will handle it anyway. Just as the atmosphere turns heavy, a surprised male voice cuts through the silence. Reese. I turn on instinct. Flynn crash into me with a big bear hug. Long time no see. Want to hang out this afternoon? He nods at the others, but the moment he catches Ash's icy glare, he instantly flinches and shrinks back. He leans in close to whisper in my ear, Reese, why is Ash still a total ice cube? It's terrifying. I stop and look at Ash. The girl who was radiating pure frost a second ago suddenly looks at me with a warmth that melts every hint of cold. Even the beauty mark under her eye looks captivating. What's wrong? I ask. The stark contrast nearly makes Flynn's eyes pop out of his head. He grabs my arm, shaking with excitement. Look at that. She talks to you like a whole different person. 5 seconds ago she looked at me like I owed her cash. I blink, playing totally innocent, cold. I didn't notice anything. Flynn rolls his eyes. Never mind, talk about a double standard. Down at the school gate, students are losing their minds, throwing stunned glances right at me. Isn't that the new top guy? He looks even better in person. Totally worth every penny I paid people to vote for him overnight. The school bell cuts through the crowd. Flynn waves goodbye as our group heads back inside for afternoon free practice. Vera and Serena head over to archery and horseback riding. I walk with Ash toward the art studio. The room is quiet and spacious, with only a few people around. I've just clipped my paper down, spitting a pencil between my fingers while lost in thought, when a fully prepared paint palette is quietly slid over to my side. Somehow, without me even noticing, Ash has mixed every color and loaded up the brushes. I blink in surprise and ask casually, aren't you going to paint? Why are you just watching me? Ash's voice drops down low, incredibly soft, almost faint enough to miss. No need, I just want to watch you. I set down my pencil and reach for a brush, and my fingers accidentally graze hers. That warmth makes me freeze for a second. Looking up, I lock eyes with Ash's gentle gaze. The mark near her eye catches the light, and for once, all her usual coldness has melted. 2 girls nearby can barely hide their shock. Did Ash actually mix those paints herself? Every other time she's been here, she didn't touch a single thing. Their whispers are quiet, but I catch every word. I glance over at Ash instinctively. She couldn't care less, acting like she heard nothing, just staring back at me with that quiet calm. I look away and grip the brush. The second the tip hits paper, I move without a single moment of hesitation. He didn't even sketch a rough layout first. I raise my wrist and land the first stroke. Pale grey bleeds across the surface, instantly bringing a barren wasteland to life. Cracked ground, crumbling wall edges, completely dry and hollow. Lower down, a twisted dead branch casts a feeling of pure desolation. Those 2 gossiping girls are completely mesmerized. How is his color sense so unreal? How did he make that yellow and brown look so translucent? I would have made mud. The other girl points. Ash mixed those. Who knew Ash could predict every single shade I'd need? Time drifts by. The room falls silent. Every single pair of eyes glued to my canvas. Just when everyone thinks this painting is all about gloom, the twist hits. I dip into pale pink, dotting tiny wildflowers into the cracks of the ruined wall. Switching to soft green, I coax fresh shoots out of the dead wood. Everyone watching stands completely stunned and speechless. That's the new guy at the top, right? He tied Ash in language arts, and now he paints like a genius. Ash looks up from the canvas to my face. She notices a smudge of paint on my finger and stands up. Go wash your hands. I was only playing around, anyway. I nod and stand up. Ash answers a call, heading off toward the range while I walk to the restroom alone. The second I open the door, drama is already unfolding. Who told you to get close to Serena? Why don't you just get lost? A harsh voice cuts through the room. 4 or 5 guys surround a kid with glasses. Leading them is yesterday's troublemaker, Lang Fang. The kid in glasses has a red handprint on his face, crying while trying to explain. I accidentally bumped into her. Lang Fang gives him a hard shove, still backtalking. Don't forget your mom works for my family. Raising an eyebrow, I walk over to the sink like the room is totally empty. I turn on the faucet and take my time pumping out some soap. Who said you could enter? Someone barks at me. I ignore them completely, rinsing the paint off my hands before looking over at Lang Fang. My voice stays lazy and completely relaxed. Do I really need your permission to use a restroom? Lang Fang takes one look at my face, and all his anger comes rushing back. Why do you keep showing up everywhere? I ask with pure indifference. Does that concern you? Then I spot the kid in the middle, covered in dusty footprints, fighting back his tears. Whatever warmth I had left vanishes completely. I shut off the tap and march straight into their circle. I yank the kid to his feet. That pushes Lang Fang right over the edge. He just checked the school forum. He knows about me and Serena being old childhood friends, and that jealousy is eating him alive. He scans the room, making sure Ash is gone, confirms nobody else is hanging around, and lets his ugly side out. Let's see what you do without Ash defending you. No cameras in here, either. He shoves the glasses kid aside hard and swings a massive slap at my face. No cameras. I watch the hand flying toward me and let a cold smile creep onto my lips. Even better, the words barely leave my mouth. My wrist snaps up, clamping onto Lang Fang's arm, and I twist hard. His face loses all color instantly. He shrieks, "Let go. You dare touch me." One of his friends yells and lunges right at my back. I do not even turn my head. I sidestep and my ankle catches his with the lightest little flick. He loses his balance entirely and slams incredibly hard down onto the tile floor. I still refuse to look back. I calmly dust off the glasses kid's shirt, but that quiet, strictly controlled strength radiating off me is impossible to hide now. So what if I touch you? I let it go before, but you came to me today. The remaining three guys exchange a quick look and charge me all at once. One grabs my arm, another grabs my hair, trying to overwhelm me with sheer numbers. I click my tongue once, gently shove the glasses kid away, drop Lang Feng's wrist at the exact same moment, and slip sideways in one clean fluid motion. The grab from my left hits pure air. I snatch the arm of the guy on my right, use his own momentum entirely, and throw him. He smashes into the edge of the bathroom sink with a heavy thud. Useless. Lang Feng watches his little crew fold one by one and actually tries creeping up on me from behind. His hands reach for my head, but I move like I have eyes in the back of my skull. Without even turning, I drive my elbow straight back, landing a clean hit in the absolute center of Lang Feng's stomach. He folds completely in half, tears squeezed out by the sheer pain. Before he recovers, I grab his arm from behind and slam him face first right into the sink, pinning his cheek against the freezing tile. Seeing that, the others panic completely. I drop Lang Feng like I'm tossing out garbage, my voice dripping with amused disgust. Come on, don't hide. It's no fun when you boys drop this fast. Then, like I just remembered a crucial detail, I throw on an expression of totally exaggerated guilt and deep regret. My bad, I forgot. You don't have a mom. Nobody was there to teach you basic manners. I sigh with totally fake sadness, letting my voice stretch out the final words. How incredibly tragic. Lang Feng is shaking with blind rage, clutching his stomach, but he doesn't dare try moving again. The two guys scramble to pull him up, not making a single peep. The bathroom goes dead quiet, just the glasses, kid standing there with his mouth hanging wide open, looking completely world-shattered. I glance back at him and press a palm to my forehead. Why are you just standing there? We have zero time to explain. I grab his hand and shove his backpack straight into his arms. Move, let's run. The two of us sprint all the way down to the elevator at the end of the hallway, and once I confirm nobody is chasing us, I smash the button. I roll my shoulders slightly, feeling faintly sore. Honestly, those guys were even weaker than I expected. I haven't done anything highly physical in almost an entire semester. Right behind me, the boy catches his breath quietly. His glasses have slipped right down to the tip of his nose. He lifts his red-rimmed eyes and formally bows. Properly, thank you so much, I'm Mo Song, song as in the word for singing. First-year student, I can't help laughing. You really don't know who I am. I'm Reese first year. 2. It is just a totally simple introduction, but the second he hears first year, Mo Song reacts like he just got stung. He instinctively ducks his head, burying it down further. I remember everything now. I wasn't laughing at Serena, I really just bumped into her by accident. By the very end, his voice is shaking. The elevator opens up. We walk out into the lobby. I'm totally confused. I didn't accuse you of anything. Why are you explaining? And what's wrong with Classer? Mo Song stumbles hard over his words for a long moment before he finally admits what went down. Turns out that when he first enrolled here, he was also placed in Class A. He simply sat slightly too close to Serena one day, which instantly triggered Ling Feng's toxic jealousy. He was forced to transfer out, and ever since, he hasn't dared score high enough on his exams just in case he gets placed back in and targeted again. I let out a cold laugh. Because you bumped into Serena, Ling Feng is after you? Mo Song doesn't dare say another word, he just quietly nods. After a very long hesitation, he finally voices the one thing he is terrified of. Ling Feng warned him, if I ever get near Serena again, he will make sure my mom gets fired from his house. I stop dead in my tracks. I just look at Mo Song. The glare bouncing off his lenses hides his eyes, but it cannot hide how terrified he is. He's clearly been holding his emotions together at the absolute limit, refusing to let himself break down and cry. My mom says it's fine. She told me never to fight him, but I really didn't do a single thing wrong. Using someone's mother's livelihood as dirty blackmail leverage, a move that absolute creep deserves zero mercy. Seeing Mo Song standing there, I remember when I first transferred. Back then, some jerk ran their mouth at me too. I just hurled my bag right at their face. I have managed to avoid getting into fights lately to keep my sisters out of trouble, but I am absolutely not walking away from this. I flash a smile. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Mo Song freezes entirely. He instinctively glances up at me. Behind those glasses, he catches the soft sunlight in my dark brown hair, the sharp angle of my jaw, and a sudden warmth in my expression he has never seen before. A total flip from the scary version of me just moments ago. He looks like he might sink into my gaze. I tilt my chin up, letting my voice slide right back into that classic, untouchable arrogance. Do not worry. From here on out, I have your back. Any trouble at all, find me in first year class, right downstairs. Mo Song just stares at me. His eyes start getting red again. Figuring he is scared of causing drama, I suddenly let out a laugh, totally unbothered. Honestly, I hate staying out of other people's business anyway. That one sentence completely shatters him. The tears spill over all at once, streaming down his cheeks and soaking a tiny patch of my sleeve. I do not bother giving some massive speech. I just dig out a fresh pack of tissues and hold them out. But then, hey, why are you? He grabs them and just cries even harder. Now I am actually getting panicked. My brain jumps to a wild idea. Want me to talk to my oldest sister about this? I literally reach for my phone, but Mo Song frantically wipes his face through his sobs and grabs my hand with shaking fingers, barely managing to choke the words out. Thank you. I just really needed to cry, I sigh. Mo Song's cheeks burn bright red. He finally steadies his breathing. Reese, I am okay now. I start to say something else, but my phone starts ringing. I glance down and answer it instantly. Ash. The second I hear her voice, my tone softens. Yeah, I am heading there now. Something bad happened with Serena. They are all down at the range. Zero time to waste. I lift my phone toward him. Give me your number. But Mo Song's face instantly falls. His voice drops to a faint whisper. I have no phone. No phone. In 2026, a teenager with zero cell phone. Before my brain can even fully process that fact, he lifts his head, looking totally determined. I can buy one as soon as I finish my weekend shifts. I tutor on the side. I nod quickly. No time for questions. I have to run. Go straight home. And remember, any trouble at all, find me in class A. I shoot him one last smile and bolt, leaving him standing there completely dazed. Way on the other side of the campus, I follow the map, moving as fast as I can. A few minutes pass, and I finally round the corner into the shooting range. Instantly, a massive crash and explosive shouting blasts my ears. The absolute worst-case scenario is playing out right in front of me. Serena is barely leaning against a heavy target, blood dripping from the corner of her mouth. Right beside her, two strangers have Vera pinned flat into the dirt. One guy raises his fist high. Vera kicks and thrashes with everything in her, screaming, "You have zero clue who you are messing with. Are you literally begging to die?" But the bald guy just lets out a cold laugh, digging his boot hard into Vera's ribs. Suddenly, Ash kicks the bald dude clean off his feet, yanking Vera up in one fluid motion. Fall back instantly. More than 12 guys behind him swarm forward and completely surround Ash. The random students watching from the bleachers are violently shaking, their hands trembling while trying to pull out their phones to record. They actually attacked Serena and Vera. Are these guys completely psychotic? I instantly dial campus security. Then I punch in 911 with that handled. I avoid rushing in blind. Instead, I use the crazy distraction to reach Serena and pull her to safety. Ash shoots me a quick glance for barely a second. And in that tiny sliver of distraction, a guy lunges with a broken blade. But Ash never even turns her head. Her hand snaps up, locking onto the attacker's wrist, her knuckles turning white under the heavy grip, forcing out a choked grunt of pain. Ash barely twists, the knife drops instantly. The attacker goes flying from his own momentum, crashing hard into the guys behind him. Pathetic. The bald dude, absolutely raging about being floored by a high school student, screams at his crew, "What are you idiots waiting for? Everyone, attack." Vera is still clutching her ribs and trying to jump back in, but Serena pulls her away. "Do not," she wipes the blood away, her tone freezing. "We would only split Ash's focus right now." I force my own panic down, too. I know I cannot fight these guys. Suddenly, a massive guy in a black tank top circles her blind spot and throws a massive punch right at the left side of Ash's face. My eyes go wide. I scream out before I can even bite my tongue. Ash, left side, but Ash moves like she sensed it coming. Her left foot slides back half a step. She tilts her body just a fraction. The huge punch grazes past. A split second later, her right elbow slams into his ribs. He folds over immediately, all the color draining from his face. Ash gives him zero time to recover, grabs his collar, yanks him forward, and shoves him brutally backward. Another wave of guys hits the dirt. Through all this chaos, not a single hair on Ash's head is out of place. But her eyes are so ice-cold it is terrifying. I just stand there, fingertips numb. I always knew Ash could fight, but I've never seen her fight for real. The playful, gentle Ash I know, completely vanished. Right now, every single movement she makes is sharp, brutal, and terrifyingly precise. That raw, intense pressure leaves me completely frozen. Vera clenches her fists in pure panic. Seeing Ash fight off 7 or 8 attackers all by herself, she's ready to jump in, but Serena yanks her back. "Stay put, we'll only get in her way." Before she even finishes, a guy lunges from behind to blindside Ash, but she doesn't even flinch. She grabs his incoming ankle with a vicious reverse grip and twists hard. A loud snap, followed by a scream. His foot bends backward. Vera is furious. I can't just watch Ash take them all on. My face stays completely deadpan. Wait, campus security is on the way. But as the words leave my mouth, I scan the dirt. Broken fencing foils everywhere. Over by the stable doors, a few leather bridles with heavy metal clasps hang on a hook. An idea hits me. Stay still. A second later, while the brawl has everyone totally distracted, I snatch the longest strap. But just then, the bald crew leader grabs his gut. His eyes burning with rage, he spots a pair of recurve bows sitting in the corner rack. He dives toward the weapons and pulls one up. The steel tip aims right at Vera. Freeze twitch, and I pin her arm to the wall. Serena's expression turns to stone. Without hesitating, she blocks Vera and stares the bald guy down. Ice cold. "Go on, try it." "Don't tempt me." His fingers tremble, but he yanks the bowstring all the way back. In that split second, I whip the leather strap at his legs with all my strength. It snags his ankle perfectly. He slips. The bowstring snaps forward, firing totally wide. The arrow scrapes Serena's shoulder and sinks deep into the dirt. Ash instantly takes the opening, left hand trapping his wrist, right fist already cocked. She drives one brutal punch right into his jaw. A sickening crunch echoes out. His neck whips back, and he drops to the floor like a sack of bricks. The remaining thugs go feral and rush her in a screaming frenzy. Ash isn't even out of breath. She flattens the whole group in seconds and just leans against the railing, totally calm. Giving up, I expected a real fight. Sirens wail in the background. A dozen security guards storm the field, batons drawn, get on the ground, hands on your heads. The chief officer spots Ash and our group, jogging over quickly. "Miss Ash, are you hurt?" Vera gestures at her own bruised cheek and lets out a dramatic wail. "Look at me, I'm dying here." But Ash steps past her, voice perfectly flat. "They attacked us first. Check the security footage." "Understood, Miss Ash, we're holding them off immediately." As the bald ringleader gets hauled away, he refuses to quit. He twists around, glaring pure hatred right at Serena. But Serena ignores him entirely. She simply strolls over to Ash and taps her arm. Ash shakes her wrist loose, but then she notices my reddened hand and her eyebrows knot together. "Why didn't you stay out of range?" My voice comes out sounding a bit defensive. "I thought they were going to hurt you." Her hardened expression melts instantly. "Worrying about yourself first." Vera limps over, clutching her ribs and groaning loudly. My poor face, my aching back. What happens to me if I'm scarred for life? I roll my eyes. Let's hit the clinic. Inside the infirmary, the nurse is almost too terrified to breathe loudly. After washing the dirt off my hands, I frown and ask, "What sparked this? Why were they targeting you?" Vera sits upright, boiling with anger. That bald freak marched up to Serena, demanded a fencing match, lost badly, and then threw actual punches. Serena stays quiet, letting the nurse patch her up. But suddenly, Ash reaches across and takes my hand, softly rubbing the bruised skin on my knuckles. I freeze, then suddenly blurt out, "Do you think the Leng family sent them?" The room drops into dead silence. Ash stops moving. She stares right at me. I quickly explain what Leng Feng tried to pull on Mo Song. Serena freezes, her gaze turning completely hollow. "He really had the guts to do this?" Vera pounds the table hard. "If he did this, I'll make him bleed." Sending hired muscle after my Serena. Then Vera recalls a pretty crucial detail. Those guys were holding back at first. She heard them whispering to each other. Something about, "No one warned us this girl was so frail. If she gets injured, whatever, do we still collect the cash?" They were honestly packing up to leave. Me rushing them is what triggered the whole brawl. Ash doesn't jump to any conclusions. She just stays silent. Rubbing my palm, I'm running a background check on those guys. But before she even finished the sentence, my phone rings. A panicked voice shouts over the line, "Young master, they're staying quiet, just claiming they're just harmless tourists." "Right, tourists." Ash's eyes narrow into ice. "Give me 5 minutes." She steps away, making her own calls. Barely 10 minutes later, my screen lights up with a text. I read the message out loud. Their hotel booking uses fake names, but the account footing the bill ties back to a shell company owned by the Yu family. Boom, Vera shoots right out of her seat. "My family?" Serena nearly chokes on her water. Vera frantically starts backtracking. "Serena, don't look at me like that. I swear it wasn't us." I let a cold smile touch the corner of my mouth. "The Yu family is bigger than just you," I say quietly. Vera gets it instantly. Besides her and her dad, there's Yu Cheng and the stepmother. She shakes her head fast. "Not the stepmom. She just doesn't have that kind of reach." Which leaves exactly one person. Right then, my screen lights up again. I look up and drop to words, "Yu Cheng." I knew it. Vera slams her fist hard into the bedrail. She gets hit by a car and still won't stay put. And she actually dares to target Serena. Ash's eyes go dead cold. She cuts right to the core of it. Yu Cheng holds zero real power in the Yu family. So how does she control a shell company account? Vera speaks through gritted teeth. "My dad probably handed her a few fringe businesses to manage things." The more she explains, the madder she gets. She quickly grabs her phone. "I'm calling my dad right now." Serena instantly pins down her wrist. "Vera, don't do anything rash." Even as she warns her, the ice in Serena's own eyes looks bottomless. A second later, Ash's phone pings with a message. She stays totally silent, just opens a screenshot of a transaction record and slides it over to us. Then Ash points out the critical detail. That loan payment happened yesterday afternoon. I look up, sharply focused. If Yu Chung really wanted to strike, why hire such sloppy, unprofessional guys? A dark glint flashes in Ash's eyes, almost like she already sees the whole chessboard. There's one possibility. Yu Cheng wanted exactly that, someone incredibly unprofessional. She speaks slowly, dissecting the dirty plot piece by piece. Hire random outsiders, use completely fake identities for the hotel stay. If it ever gets traced, she claims she was framed. Pay through a fringe shell account, and that creates the perfect loose thread. If nobody notices, she walks away clean. If someone digs it up, she plays victim and claims the account got hacked. Stays completely spotless either way. That is seriously terrifying. Vera shivers, spine turning cold. But something still feels wrong to me. Targeting Serena just to snatch some inheritance, that logic simply doesn't hold up. Unless Yu Cheng and Leng Fang teamed up, one wants to leverage this mess to pressure Vera, while the other desperately wants payback on Serena. Right then, Serena, quiet this entire time, finally speaks up. They share the same class. Everything snaps into place. Vera rockets off the mattress. I don't care about her stupid scheme. I'm calling Dad right now. Serena yanks her back. Vera, we lack hard evidence. Knowing Yu Cheng, she just cry and insist we're totally mistaken. Vera's face flushes pure red with rage. So we just let this slide. Serena sighs. Go to your dad first. The second we find one solid shred of evidence, he'll dig until she's finished. After wrapping things up, I've barely cleared the school gate when my screen buzzes. It's Lucas. I'm on the bus heading back, prepping for a very big showdown. Don't miss me. I can't help but laugh. I shoot Flynn a quick text. Flynn, I'm out. Meanwhile, at a boba tea spot nearby, absolute chaos has already erupted. What is wrong with you? Can you even afford to replace my stuff? Flynn glances toward the railing. He spots a girl in a server uniform sprawled on the floor, looking totally wrecked. A sharply dressed guy stands over her, just screaming. Then his posture shifts, and a nasty smirk crawls across his face. Hey pretty girl, spill that coffee on purpose, trying to grab my attention. I'll admit, it totally worked. I'll give you a shot. Become my girl. The server, Jia Shai, snaps her head up. She's dealt with this creep harassing her for a solid week. He just tripped her on purpose. She's utterly done. Are you psychotic? You actually think you're some legitimate heir? You're literally just the Yin family's outside son. The cafe explodes in whispers. An outside son. Wow, which one from the Yin family? So embarrassing. Rex goes dead rigid, then erupts in pure humiliated fury. He snatches a jagged piece of broken glass off the floor and hurls it at Shoshi. She dodges easily, pure contempt showing. What? The outside boy can't handle the truth. Rex flushes bright crimson, his whole face twists, and he actually whips out a small pocket blade, charging straight at her. Panicked screams erupt everywhere. Right then, Flynn, who's been watching with cold, quiet amusement, suddenly shoots to his feet without a single word and launches a brutal kick. It lands perfectly on Rex's wrist with a heavy crack. Rex grunts, and the blade clatters across the tiles. Before he can even process the strike, a shoe stomps down hard over his hand. Flynn tilts his head, his bold, fearless face breaking into a wide grin. What is this? Trying to bully a little girl? Excited screams echo from every single direction. Oh my god, he's so cool. Rex bares his teeth through the agony, still raging blind. Do you even know who I am? I'm an Yin family heir. The Yin family won't let this slide. Flynn chuckles lightly, driving his foot down even harder. I'm so terrified. Rex thinks he's winning. He immediately yells, then get on your knees and beg for forgiveness. But a second later, Flynn's eyes turn freezing cold. Apologize to you? Then he drops 3 words that hit like a thunderclap. Outside son. Rex turns sheet white. How does he know? Flynn's gaze is dripping with contempt. The Yin family, the absolute lowest tier in this city, and not even legitimate. You are just an outside son with 0 standing. Cross the Lin family, and we never back down. Rex, you actually tricked me. I am a Zia family member. Rex feels his brain short-circuit. The Zia family, ranked 4th in the city. Impossible. Why would a Zia heir be pouring drinks in a bubble tea shop? When his dad brought Rex back into the N family, he made one thing crystal clear. Never mess with the elite families of this city. Rex had been walking on eggshells for years now. He was looking for an easy target. Instead, he just kicked two massive iron walls at once. Before he can even process it, a new voice cuts through the room. Let's watch this play out. Tisk, tisk. The N family's outside son makes quite a scene. A figure steps from the crowd, not even hiding her disgust. Rex looks up, and all the blood leaves his face. His legs give out. It is Vera, the Yu family's eldest daughter. Gasps echo through the stunned crowd. It is Vera, and is that Serena right beside her? Over on a corner sofa, a young guy is lounging back. He has a straw between his lips, his ice blue eyes catching the light. As the drama gets louder, his elegant eyebrows slowly pull together slightly. Those striking, clear eyes lose absolutely every drop of warmth. A sharp, refined annoyance simmers beneath that cool exterior, the look of elite royalty who hates being disturbed. The air around him practically turns to solid ice. Myung-kwon sets his drink down and stands up slow. The voice slipping from beneath his messy bangs is absolutely dripping with irritation. Too loud. Right then, one of his personal guards, Song-zae, leans in close. Young master, I think I just heard Miss Vera out there. Stay right here. Let me check. Myung-kwon grabs his earbuds. A brief flash of amusement crosses his eyes. The Yu family heir, he sinks right back into the sofa, his face returning to that perfectly detached chill. You and the other guy go take a look. Both bodyguards vanish into the crowd instantly. Meanwhile, the cafe manager finally shows up, cold sweat pulling on his forehead. He bursts through the door, and the very first thing he spots is Vera and Serena. His knees instantly buckle. Miss Vera, Miss Serena, this is completely my fault as a manager. I will throw this guy out immediately. Vera is wearing bandages on her face. Her pretty features are twisted with annoyance. She glares at Rex with total disgust. Get him out of my sight. Rex, still ghost white, does not even get to speak. Flynn smiles. It is a dangerously sly, charming smile. Why do you not get on your knees and apologize to the young lady? Bam! Rex drops to his knees before Zia Shai without a second thought. He slams his forehead down. Miss Zia, I was completely blind and stupid. Please forgive me. A second later, he spins toward Vera and bows again. Miss Vera, I caused a mess and bothered you. I am leaving now. Stick with me here. The two guards who just arrived take it all in. When the manager spots them, his heart skips another beat. Those are the personal bodyguards of Myung-kwon, the Mo family's youngest son. The manager practically wants to sob. What kind of cursed day is this shop having? He runs over, bowing deeply. Is the young master here? Song-zae points toward the hidden corner sofa, sharp and quick. He is over there. He does not appreciate all this screaming. The manager's head is spinning. He instantly has Rex tossed out and clears the crowd, praying to God none of these terrifying elites decide to drop a line like, the weather is turning cold. Might be time to shut this business down. Once it is handled, Vera links arms with Serena and walks out. I am done here. Zia Shai has completely lost interest in working. She drags Flynn into a seat, her big eyes staring at him with absolute pure admiration. You are incredible. Can I get your number? Flynn does not refuse. They swap contacts right there. Hey, I am Shashi. Flynn. Shashi makes a very happy sound and asks sweetly, you are still in high school, right? Yeah. Shashi watches the smooth, totally relaxed way he just handled Rex, and she becomes even more convinced. This guy Flynn is far from ordinary. Then it hits her. The Lin family, the second highest elite in the entire city. She looks at him with bold, confident eyes and shoots her shot. Flynn, are you from the Lin family? Flynn raises an eyebrow, genuinely caught off guard. She figured it out that quickly. He presses his lips together, smiling, and just admits it right out loud. Smart girl. Shashi's eyes completely light up. I knew it. The way you carry yourself is exactly how a top-tier heir should vibe. Do you go to Maplewood? Flynn nods. Shashi instantly turns into his biggest fan. Flynn, you were so awesome back there. Flynn waves it off. Relax, that kind of guy only bullies people who cannot fight back, but Shashi shakes her head. Seriously, when he pulled that knife I froze up. You could have gotten hurt. You saved me, Flynn. Flynn smiles warmly. Internally, he is just sighing at his own ridiculous existence. This ridiculous magnetism. They chat for just a few minutes before Flynn finally spots my message. He stands up and says goodbye instantly. Gotta run, Shashi, dinner is on me next time. He pivots and strides away with a casual wave. Off in the distance, I lean against the car. Spotting him approaching, I raise an eyebrow, grinning. Which girl kept you busy? Flynn smirks a little. Actually ran into someone pretty cute and sweet. We hop in the car, laughing together. But as soon as we drive off, Flynn's face turns serious. Wait, I spotted Vera and Serena earlier. They looked pretty banged up. What happened? I choose my words carefully. Today at the archery range, they both got cornered. What? On campus? Flynn sits up completely straight, his voice jumping. Who has that kind of nerve? I shake my head. Some outside crew, no clue how they slipped in. Flynn instantly grabs my hand, inspecting it closely. And sure enough, he spots the faint rope marks across my fingers. What happened to your hand? Did you fight them? I don't hide a thing. I give him the run down the range, the brawl, and discovering Yu Cheng pulled the strings. Flynn laughs in pure disbelief. Yu Cheng really had the guts to target Serena. And Vera got hurt too. She must have totally lost her mind. I lean back in my seat, keeping my voice flat. Don't sweat it, Ash and I are handling it. Flynn finally relaxes, pulling his phone out to scroll the school forum. Somebody uploaded a video of the scene he watches, giving a play-by-play as he goes. Why isn't Serena fighting back? That is so unlike her. I press my hand against my forehead, laughing. She had guys pinning her down. But then Flynn's entire reaction shifts. Wait, actually, those moves Reese pulled out were pretty impressive. I just give up and pivot the topic. Stop watching that. Where are we grabbing food? Flynn pockets his phone right away, looking concerned. The new spot my family opened. You had a brutal day, so eat up, driver, step on it. I am absolutely starving. The car barely halts at the entrance before Flynn shoves his door open, pulling me inside. He walks straight up to the manager and rattles off an order. One of every mild signature dish, especially the crab roe tofu and the braised pork meatballs. We barely even sit down before Flynn slides the menu my way. I take one glance and push it right back. You pick. Every single description reads like a warning label. Flynn totally expected this reaction. He just smiles and checks off the items himself. Relax, I will have them make your food separately. Zero spice, I promise you. The server brings out the crab roe tofu. Flynn scoops a spoonful into my bowl himself. Try this out. You are going to love it. I take a bite, and my eyes light up instantly. This is incredible. Flynn looks insufferably smug as he ladles me a bowl of soup too. Tomorrow I am bringing you back for our new dessert, coconut taro sago. He knows exactly how picky I am, quickly adding, I tested it this morning. I promise you will like it. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the city, Vera storms back into the Yu family mansion with fire in her every step. She runs straight into the stepmother by the front door. The woman sees the bruises on their faces and instantly plasters on a fake smile. Vera, Serena, what happened? Did you two get into another fight? Vera is already furious, and that little performance makes it so much worse. She shoves past. Don't even touch me. The stepmother stumbles backward, her eyes going red instantly. Vera, I was only trying. Just then, a sharp voice cuts through the tension. Marcus, he takes one look at his daughter's dark expressions and Serena's fresh injuries, and he completely erupts. Who had the absolute nerve to lay a hand on someone from the Yu family? But a second later, Vera drops a massive bomb that shakes the room. Dad, Yu Cheng hired thugs to jump Serena and me. She paid them using a bank account tied to one of our shell companies. The stepmother's face completely freezes up on the spot. She instinctively steps forward to protect her daughter, but Vera cuts her off before she can utter a single word. She drops her final card. This was personally verified by Ash and Reese, hard evidence. Serena follows that up perfectly, laying out the exact timeline of how Yu Cheng conspired with their corporate rival, Lang Feng. One wanted to suppress Vera, the other wanted revenge on Serena. By the time she finished speaking, Marcus looks absolutely furious. He is just about to say something when footsteps echo on the wooden stairs. Yu Cheng limps down carefully, her face arranged into a mask of pure innocence. Sis, Serena, what happened to your faces? The stepmother quickly waves her over. Vera just laughs coldly. Oh, look. Your legs aren't broken enough to stop you walking downstairs. You still had enough time to hire thugs to deal with us. Yu Cheng's grip on her crutch suddenly tightens. She is livid, but she can't say a word. Instead, she settles for looking pathetic and pitiful. Vera doesn't buy the act for a second. She shoots up and points a finger straight at her. Cut the act. Were those guys at the range yours? The stepmother maintains her composure on the surface, but a cold dread drops through her chest as she watches the sheer guilt written all over her daughter's face. Marcus is now entirely certain that Yu Cheng orchestrated this. He just never imagined his own daughter would go this far behind his nobody dares touch a family member. Yu Cheng finally hits panic mode, stumbling backward as she talks. Mom, I swear I did nothing. I gave that shell company account to my assistant forever ago. It got hacked. As those words drop, the room goes completely dead silent. You and I both know that was a confession hiding inside a weak denial. Vera lunges at her, but Serena blocks the way, her gaze like absolute ice. We just asked if you did this. Nobody ever brought up which company account was involved. How did you know the exact account? And there is more. Serena steps closer, shredding through her pathetic lies. The cash for the room was sent yesterday afternoon, while you were just lounging in bed. Plus, those thugs came from outside the city. Who else would specifically hire an out-of-town crew? Yu Cheng's eyes dart around. She chokes out an excuse, claiming she was visiting Shen Bing at the hospital. But Marcus is nobody's fool. He stares her down, and his mind is already made up. He grabs his phone and barks a hard order to his assistant. Trace Yu Cheng's exact moves from yesterday afternoon, plus all the transaction logs for our corporate accounts. You have 30 minutes. He glares at Yu Cheng. If this leads back to you, you are completely done with this family. Yu Cheng turns ghost white, frozen, like she just fell through thin ice. Vera scoffs with deep disgust, dragging Serena down beside her on the couch. They sit back and wait. The clock ticks. The tension in the room is absolutely suffocating. Exactly 30 minutes later, Marcus gets a call. His assistant's voice breaks through the heavy silence, crisp and clear. So, we have the complete picture. The IP address linked to the wire transfer matches Miss Yu Cheng's bedroom. Around that time, she also called an untraceable number 3 separate times. That has to be the middleman. The crutch slips from her hand, slamming the floor. She looks absolutely pale, lips shaking. The victim act completely shatters. Suddenly, she screams, Mom, I didn't want to. I was forced. The guy threatened me. That is why I sent the cash. Enough. Marcus hits his hand on the coffee table. The whole room freezes. The proof is sitting right here, and you are still lying. His chest heaves with absolute rage. His finger shakes as he points right at her. I hired you to learn business, not to drain corporate accounts to hire thugs to attack your sister's friends. Her stepmother tries to run to her, but one brutal, icy glare from Marcus stops her cold. And you, keep your mouth shut. You raised this spoiled girl without any boundaries. This mess is on you too. Suddenly, a fast blur, a sick thud, and Vera's fist smashes right into the side of Yu Cheng's jaw. Her leg is already messed up. The brutal punch sends her stumbling back into the glass coffee table. She goes down hard, hands clutching her face, screaming. Real blood leaks through her fingers. Her stepmother shrieks and sprints over to help. Vera steps up for more, but a firm hand grabs her arm, pulling her back. Don't dirty your hands. Serena's tone is pure ice and victory. She keeps Vera's blazing rage fully under control. Vera breathes hard, pointing a sharp finger at the bleeding girl on the floor. If you want the family fortune, fight me. Targeting Serena. Is that really the best plan you have? With that pathetic mindset, you would lose the Yu family empire even if we handed it to you. Marcus watches the whole mess, his dark expression terrifying everyone. But he lets it happen. Instead, he drops the ultimate judgment right on the spot. Starting right now, every credit card you own is cut off, and you are never allowed back inside this mansion again. Those words hit like a total bomb. Yu Cheng snaps her head up, eyes huge with pure shock. A split second later, Her legs give out, she hits the floor and starts bowing her head like crazy, slamming her forehead red against the tiles. Mom, Serena, I was so wrong. I never cared about the money, I was just blinded by love. Marcus' eyebrows pulled together, not for the money. Then explain. You and I are about to see this get much crazier. The room, Yu Cheng cries uncontrollably. It is about Lang Feng, I love him. But he only ever looks at Serena. I just wanted thugs to teach her a lesson, make her hurt a little, so Feng would pity me and finally give me attention. I needed a chance to prove I care. At that pathetic excuse, Vera cracks up laughing. You almost got a guy murdered just to make a man look your way. Serena stares down at her sister, her face cold as a carved block of glacier ice. Just scare me a bit. Do you even know how close those men came to actually killing me? Without Ash stepping in, I hate to think about what happens next. With the ugly truth totally exposed, whatever patience Marcus had left simply evaporates. You did all this for a guy, pack up your bags right now. You are moving to the countryside. He shows zero mercy, giving Yu Cheng absolutely no chance to argue. Without my direct permission, you will never enter this city again. Two guards step up, hauling the screaming, sobbing girl off the floor like she weighs absolutely nothing, dragging her straight out the door. Out the door, as the sobbing fades into the distance, the very last of Vera's rage finally starts to melt away. She just cannot help venting. What an absolute idiot. I actually thought she had some ambition, but it turns out it was all for a guy like Lang Feng. Serena just nods, her eyes sweeping over the stepmother who is still wiping away tears, total indifference. Now that it is settled, a drained Marcus rubs his temples. He turns to Serena, his expression full of regret. Serena, I'm sorry you had to endure this. I'll personally visit your family to offer my apologies. As for Lang Feng, I'll have someone deal with him appropriately. Serena keeps her face perfectly blank. She is about to offer a polite reply when Vera interrupts. What good is an apology? Send Serena that car from the recent auction as your apology gift. Marcus freezes in shock for a moment. Getting that car shipped from overseas cost him over 1 billion. The very corner of Serena's mouth twitches upward just a little bit, because they all know Vera has been obsessing over that exact car for an entire month, but never had the guts to actually ask for it. Thank you, Uncle. Serena accepts the gift smoothly, her expression flawless. Vera watches her father playing completely dumb, silent about the vehicle, and decides not to fight it. She pats Serena on the arm. Come on, let's eat. Marcus watches the two of them head off, and the tight stress finally leaves his face. Keep an eye on each other. Vera doesn't even glance back. She's already pulling Serena straight toward the dining table. You didn't need to tell us. Meanwhile, across town, pure chaos has erupted at the Shen family villa. Ash opens the front doors and is completely stunned by what she walks into. Her normally elegant and composed mother is standing there in a green cheongsam, actively ordering the staff to strip the entire place bare. Faster, grab that vase, that ornament too. Take everything, pack it all up. 5 massive suitcases are standing in the middle of the living room like a barricade, already stuffed completely full. The display shelves are practically bare. Ash scans the absolute carnage, her eyebrow twitching. Are we moving out? Her mother looks over and beams brightly. Ash, perfect timing. Come check out the vase. Or mother brought back from France. Ash raises one brow. So, did you two make up? You were fighting a brutal Cold War all last month, and now you're packing together. Her father looks a bit caught off guard, but her mother just looks warm and totally thrilled. Making up, not making up, that's just the normal spice of marriage. We're leaving on a delayed honeymoon getaway. 2 whole months, before Ash can even process that news, her mother rushes over and adjusts her collar with practiced affection. Ash, for these 2 months, the house and the family company are yours. Ash is left totally speechless. The company. That's the Shen Group, real estate, tech, luxury brands. Thousands of senior executives alone. I'm only 15. She tries to appeal to their parental conscience, 15 going on 16. Her dad just waves a hand, absolutely unapologetic. When I was your age, I was already sitting in on board meetings with your grandfather. Plus, the vice presidents will keep everything running. You just have to approve their decisions. Her mother takes it a step further and drops this legendary line, "Just think of it as practice. As long as you don't sell the business, your mother can fix whatever happens." Ash lets out a dry laugh and tugs at the corner of her mouth, completely out of arguments to make. Practice? They're handing her a trillion-yuan corporate empire like a toy. She turns away to head upstairs for some quiet time, but her wrist gets grabbed. "I heard Reese is back." Her mother's gossip radar ignites completely, eyes sparking with pure mischief. "And he's your seatmate. Come on, tell Mom everything. How did you two end up making up?" Ash pauses, trying to deflect the question. Her mother sees right through it and pokes her in the back. "Running away now? I'm not going to eat you. Don't even try telling me you're going to study. You finished college-level problems back in middle school." The excuse dies before it's even born. Ash keeps walking, her spine perfectly straight. "Just leave her alone." Her dad clicks the final suitcase shut and casually twists the knife himself. "Reese is back in town, and you're sitting right next to him. Strike while the iron's hot and bring him home." Her mother nods along frantically. "Exactly right. Reese is popular. Don't fall behind. Don't let another girl get him first." Ash doesn't even look back. Her voice is completely flat and clear. Dragging someone home by force doesn't align with Shen family values. Then from behind her comes her father's large scarf, family values. "When I was chasing after your mother, I snuck out every single antique your grandfather hid away and used them as offerings." Ash stops dead in her tracks. Then she continues to her room. She just finished a shower when her phone aggressively buzzes against the desk. The screen lights up. A pinned chat pops up with a tiny sun sticker, followed by that familiar avatar bouncing rapidly. "Ash, you're online. My sister just dropped a beta version of her brand new game. I'll carry you." Ash towels her wet hair dry with one hand. The corner of her mouth curves. She types back just 2 words coming. The next morning, over at Thornfield High, I've just reached the 2nd floor when a sharp sound suddenly pierces the air. Over by the stairwell, Lang Feng and 2 of his followers have a small figure cornered hard against the pinned to the wall. Mo Song is gripping her worn backpack like a lifeline, ghost pale and trembling from head to toe. Before I can even hear Lang Feng's threat, he shoves her hard against the concrete with this nasty glare. There is a heavy thud. I click my tongue. A cold anger hits me as I stroll over, taking my absolute time. "Hey!" Lang Feng snaps around on pure instinct, spots me, and all color drains from his face. "Why are you everywhere?" His 2 lackeys suddenly remember yesterday's campus incident, and they both instinctively stumble back. I gesture toward our classroom down the hall, flashing a mocking smile. Probably because I just happened to take classes with Serena. Or maybe my school board connections. Lang Feng's neck flushes bright red with pure rage. It was only last night he learned the elite student rankings got completely shuffled, and he was the only guy who got kicked out. And the person who stole his spot is standing right in his face. Fresh anger mixing with all that bitter high school drama. Lang Feng snaps and lunges. I smoothly step aside, shifting Mo Song right behind my back to protect her. Lang Feng grabs empty air. He slips, almost eating the floor. He spins around, glaring daggers at me. "You seriously dodged? Why wouldn't I dodge?" I casually tap the handrail, keeping my voice dead cold. "What? You want to start a massive fight here? Right in front of the entire student body? Let everybody see exactly how pathetic you really are." That truth hits him like an ice bath. The fury flickers out. Arrogant as he is, he knows this is campus property. If things blow up, facing the disciplinary committee is a risk he just cannot take. That the absolute humiliation of getting kicked off his throne burns way too deep to ignore. So he settles for glaring viciously at Mo Song. "My problem with her has absolutely nothing to do with you." "Well, it does now." I check Mo Song's petrified expression over my shoulder and shoot him a look that carries nothing but freezing warnings. "Either you walk away right now, or I go grab Ash." Lang Feng's face turns purple. One crony frantically yanks his sleeve. "Fun, let it go, man. If Ash jumps in, shut your mouth." Lang Feng violently shoves his friend away, but he doesn't dare step any closer. He shoots me one final deadly glare. "Do not think this is over." Then he storms off with his crew. Once they finally disappear, I turn back to Mo Song. It is fine now. She slowly looks up, eyes completely red, thanking me softly. Thank you, Reese. Why didn't you just report him to a teacher? I stare at the bag squeezed against her chest, totally confused. Mo Song's gaze drops straight to the floor. Her voice is practically a whisper. My mom said not to bother the faculty, and I worried they might take Lang Feng's side. I can't help but laugh out loud at that. Come on, I will walk you. If you told someone earlier, a bully like Lang Feng who targets vulnerable kids would be writing detention apologies until his wrist gave out. But the second I try to touch her shoulder, Mo Song violently flinches like a cornered rabbit. She bows frantically, her voice super rushed and panicked. No, thank you so much, Reese. I have assignments to turn in. She barely gets the words out before she is gripping her bag and bolting away. My hand just hovers there awkwardly. I let out a tired sigh. This girl is just unbelievably skittish. What is she so terrified of? I decide to let it go. Turning around, I wander back to homeroom. Ash is chilling by the perfect window desk, scrolling on her phone. I stroll right over and pull out the empty seat next to her. She glances up, her sharp eyes studying my expression. You seem kinda tense today, do I? I rub my cheek, totally brushing it off. It is nothing. Just watched a pathetic showcase of some guy picking on a weak kid. Bullying the weak. Ash stops scrolling instantly. Her stare turns deadly serious. Wait, did somebody mess with you? She stops asking and just double taps her screen. I get the hint instantly. I grab my phone to check it. All her texts from last night are sitting there unread. I wince, feeling guilty, and hurry to explain. I passed out, totally missed them entirely. Ash props her chin on her hand, giving me this knowing little smile. Figured, right then. Elliot spins around from the desk, just in front of us, handing back our graded exams. I barely cram mine into my desk drawer before a huge distraction explodes at the classroom doorway. Serena and Vera shuffle inside together, looking completely wrecked like they barely survived a disaster. Vera looks especially awful. Deep dark circles bag her eyes. She's yawning hard before she even crosses the threshold. She drags herself to her desk and skips, pulling the chair out properly. Just kicks the metal leg and slumps right into it. Her whole vibe screams, do not bother me. Zara, always overly observant, looks eagerly between the two exhausted girls and practically yells out, Vera, Serena, what gives? Did you two rob a bank last night or something? That joke hooks the attention of the entire room. The viral clip of that bald creep attacking them yesterday was already blowing up online. With everyone begging for the gossip, Ash stays completely silent. Vera is simply too exhausted to even pry her eyes open. She just reaches across the aisle and shoves Serena. Serena takes the hint. Keeping her expression perfectly blank, she deadpans. We dismantled a household. The entire classroom goes incredibly silent. Dismantled a whole household. Ash gestures slightly over at Vera. Vera sinks deeper into her chair, aggressively rubbing her temples while diving into a rant of miserable complaints. Do not even ask. My father kept me and Serena reviewing the mess until 4 in the morning, pushing apologies to the Gu family 1 second, then screaming about you Chen the next. My ears instantly perk up. I snag onto that core keyword, resolved. Vera finally pulls herself together, shooting me this genuinely approving look. You've got a solid head on your shoulders. You called it perfectly. It was Lang Feng. Ash hears the whole chaotic story and drops this flawlessly deadpan verdict. That brain wouldn't even qualify for science. I'm nodding aggressively next to her. Honestly, genuinely impressive levels of stupid. Totally empty upstairs, yet he always speedruns the worst possible ideas. Only Lang Feng would actually pay thugs to go after Serena. The class bell barely stops ringing before fresh chaos hits our doorway. Lang Feng is standing right there, looking completely unhinged, eyes totally locked onto Serena. His tone is low but frantic. Serena, come outside. Literally everyone in class rolls their eyes. This guy again. Does he still not get it? Serena, absolutely dead from pure exhaustion, won't even look up at him. Her voice drops 10 degrees instantly. Whatever you have to say waits until after class is over. Lang Feng flushes bright red, taking a half step forward, completely refusing to let it go. It's important, just 2 minutes. This time, Serena doesn't so much as blink. Not necessary. Those two words. An absolute public execution. Lang Fang just shatters. The color drains from his face, and he starts losing his mind at the door. Serena, did someone tell you something? Why did you delete me? Plus, she hit me yesterday. Hearing that, I almost bust out laughing, so he got blocked. No wonder he's been snapping at everyone like a literal rabid dog. Fine, if he really wants a show, I'll give him an audience worth performing. FOR.